from Bellino Fireworks and La Smash Smash Room, and to fill your stomachs, a half-off deal from Cops, all for half off. Don't miss this 4th of July Zone Mega Week at 1620thezone.com and click deals.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover.
It just crossed him over nastily. Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. It's the crossover. Josh, I appreciate you checking the contract to make sure we didn't write in there that we have to be haters.
Look, man, I checked it today. I'm like, what does my contract say? I'm serious. I almost took a screenshot of just the very, very top where it says something about like this agreement or whatever it is. Yeah. And then I was going to add in like, you must hate Nebraska. But I didn't want to get in trouble because of putting like even just a bit of my contract on the internet. So I was like, I'll just stay away. I'll stay away.
I don't have a contract.
What's so bad
and I just
about
say
tweeting
whatever.
out your contract?
You just say whatever anytime anyway.
Yeah, that's true, Nick. We couldn't get you to stop if we wanted to.
That's right.
You're welcome.
I'm kind of screwed there.
Sorry for supplying content.
That's one way to describe it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like saying Nebraska supplied football content last year.
Sometimes they did.
I mean, it wasn't
Yeah,
good
there was
content.
Sometimes, Hap, I'm serious, man. I'm
just confused. This whole thing is just confusing to me.
Yes, because
the win total.
Why are you being such a downer on things? It's like, because I've watched them for 4 years. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell people sometimes.
But like,
I feel bad.
It's not even that. Like, I feel like, or I have felt like, I'm on the optimistic side of things.
Well, you are compared to Josh.
Right. Like, my guess would be
oopsies
that number. My guess would be at this point, I end up predicting that Nebraska wins 7 games this year. That would.
So you see yourself.
Yes.
The positive momentum.
That would be
Which usually does happen when we do our next round of polling. It'll probably
be in about a month.
Wait till Big Ten Media Days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all and listen, that's the way it is at most places, and I get that. That's fine. That's cool. If people want to go down the road of, well, but look how close they were last year, and then look at the schedule this year. All I have to do is say the same thing I've been saying for weeks. The equation of last year has been totally erased.
That's correct.
Yes.
It is totally different. So you can't base anything on the close of last year.
Correct.
Because so many things have changed. And then on the schedule part, well, lost Illinois 2 out of the last 3 years. They
lost Illinois the last 2 years.
Literally the last 2 years. They've lost to Purdue. They've lost, so
they don't have a winning record against anybody in the Big Ten West.
Right.
Correct. They have a 500 record against 2 teams and a losing record against the other 4.
So that's how I can counter by saying, well, how can you feel that way? Well, that's how I feel. I don't know where I'm going to be right now. There are so many changes. And
my guess
I
is
almost felt like Sip was taking a shot at me a few weeks ago.
He probably was.
When he said something to the effect of, you're going to have a lot of people playing it safe and just saying they're going to get 6 wins. You know why?
That's not a safe prediction.
That's not a safe prediction. No. To me, that's
no.
That's how you're being a positive boy.
That's what I thought.
I can see it just as easily going to 9 as I can going to 3.
So I guess my retort going back would be, and this is something I talked about today, like, I wouldn't have to try that hard to convince you that it's possible that they only win 4, right?
Nope. You can easily
Right?
convince
Like even the most positive
I saw
people,
last year happen.
that's where my range is, and I think it's pretty large. And I think, you know, I'm basically sitting in between like 4 and 8 wins at this point, which those are 2 vastly different seasons.
Yeah.
And there's 2 different ones in between too. So I don't know. The whole reaction to it is really weird, but I think the metrics are out doing the fan base right now, which is super uncommon for how I feel like we normally talk about.
That's a good way to, yeah, that's definitely true. You know, normally I would say people around here are much more positive than whether it's a win total, whether it's a, like SP plus. And so like that seems to be on the high end. It's just like, what's going on here? Just like, you know,
what's happening
in 2019, ahead of that season, the account, Nick keeps reading tweets from Radio Shack.
This is amazing.
What's happening?
I don't know. So in 2019, the win
Control
total
yourself.
was low. And we were like, what's going on with that low win total?
That's right. Yes.
What's going on here? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And Vegas ended up being right. This one.
Yeah, we were like, I don't buy that.
Yeah.
They got Adrian Martinez.
It's the same thing this year. It's like, what the hell? I remember when that number first showed up. I was like, what? 7.5?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Is something broken? Did FanDuel screw up? And they would never screw up promo code 1620. I just don't get it.
I think 7 is a better number. I think 6.5 is a better number than both of them.
Yeah, we predicted. Yeah. Remember, I think you said 6.5, and I thought they would do 6 because I thought that was a super safe number where you get money on both sides. 7.5, it just seems like
weird.
You know, not if you're not local, wouldn't you just easily bet the under? Easily, and even if you are local, might you easily bet the under? But maybe, maybe I'm just missing everything.
Line moves aren't going to happen just because a few Nebraskans bet one way or the other. But I would love to know on the number of tickets that have been accepted across the river.
Yeah, like who is going and smashing the over?
Yeah, I would like to know the different. I would like to know the percentage of those going over versus going under. I really would.
But the juice is still
to the under.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, to the over.
To the over. You still have to pay. Yeah.
You have to pay more money.
You got to pay more money to win more money on the over, which is crazy. All right, enough of this stuff.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, that was way too serious.
Way too serious.
Let's talk bread.
Nice.
So
what was the question?
You're anti-Texas toast at Raising Cane's?
Okay, that's a little black and white.
Okay.
There's some nuance.
Well, I don't know.
There's nuance.
I don't know if you know this after the news of the last few days. Not a lot of nuance in the world.
We're gonna have nuance here.
It's either one way or the other.
What was the question originally?
We got to talking about the items inside of a
Cane's box,
a traditional the box combo.
Yeah,
the box
where you will receive a piece of bread,
nice.
Texas toast. You'll receive
slaw,
3 to 4 chicken strips, 4 I think,
4
coleslaw,
the box has 4,
and French fries.
Yeah,
and the sauce.
Of course.
Can't forget the sauce.
Taking out the sauce because it's not a food item.
Sure, it's a condiment.
How would you rank the items?
Okay.
Chicken, fries, toast.
Yep, and then
slaw's not
no
even
slaw,
on the board?
extra fries.
Get that slop out of here.
Do you do extra fries or do you
extra
do
fries?
Extra toast?
Extra fries.
Yeah.
Now,
John and I are in lockstep on this one.
There's a couple things. First of all, I think the bread is overrated. Why are we getting extra bread?
Bad take.
Why are we getting extra bread?
It's tasty. It's
It's
butter.
bread. It's bread.
Right.
It's bread.
I would agree.
It's
Getting the extra
buttery.
bread, which my son does, is silly. It's extra fries. I want the fries.
I could go along with that.
I rate the slaw higher than the fries.
No way.
Oh, wow.
I'm not saying I hate the fries, but the fries aren't anything special. There's no
Neither's
special
the
seasoning or
slaw.
anything.
Neither's the slaw. Coleslaw.
Yeah, but it's food groups, John. You know when you're eating.
Yes, when I go to a fast food place, what I think about is I need some food groups.
No, but
here at
there's
my fast food
variety.
joint.
There's variety. Like on a
I
burger.
love the slaw too. I don't know.
Like
about,
on a burger, there's
Gross.
variety. If you don't get the slaw, then you're just eating a bunch of grease and breading,
I'm
which
eating
is good,
fries
but you'll
and
feel
chicken.
like garbage.
That's what I do at Popeyes. You think when I go to Popeyes, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could have some strawberries.
No, like I think the slaw is really, really good. That's why I get.
It's a diversified palate.
See, but
Josh,
Nick's not
if you were an
arguing for
adult.
that. He's just
Yeah.
saying he wants food groups.
No, I'm
Like have
arguing
a
that it's a
balanced meal?
diverse palate.
It is.
The food
It is
groups
a
are part
diverse
of
palate.
it.
Doesn't have an
Chicken and
important
fries are
diverse
different from
palate.
each
That just
other.
doesn't have an effect on how I
Yeah.
grade the meal.
Yeah.
But
If I'm going to get full on something, I don't want slaw as a filler.
But every part of that meal has its own role to play. The chicken is the main thing.
Yeah,
the
the
fries
slaw
are
has
the
a
good
role
size.
to play. It's called
I agree with this.
substitute it out for fries.
So here's my other thing.
Bingo.
Here's my second.
But you do need the bread to mop up the rest
The-
of the sauce
the
and
slaw
everything.
is
when
the
you're
player
done,
to be
'cause you're never
named
gonna
later.
You're never gonna get all the sauce out of that thing, right? But you use the bread to mop it up, and then it's a vehicle for the rest
Oh,
of the
no, I'll
leftover
find
sauce.
a way to get the sauce out. Don't
My
worry.
fingy.
So you don't have to use your fingy or tonguey to lick the sauce out of the
Get the chicken
container.
out of there with the chicken.
Nick, you could use some
shove
practice
the chicken in
probably.
there.
Yeah, but there's still some like leftover. There's still some like leftover. You can just
Yeah, and that doesn't need
it
to.
mops it
you
up.
throw it away.
You mop it up. No
You dip
waste.
some
Connor.
fries in it.
No waste.
Okay, hold on.
'Kay.
Here's my thing that I've gotten the most pushback on,
All
just
right.
as a one of my food related takes.
Yeah.
Pizza.
I do not believe in meal customization.
Oh, good lord.
Wait, what?
How do you go to a sandwich shop?
Well, that's different. The sandwiches
He's
and
saying
burgers
he doesn't
and
like
whatever.
alterations.
I like yes,
Oh.
correct. I don't like when you sub things out and put other things in. I believe that the
What?
meal is prepared and made in a certain way
It's
for a reason.
So you
Good
believe?
Lord.
So
I want
you
the-
believe that some corporate shill working in some
That's right.
laboratory is like,
I trust
now
him.
listen,
I trust
you get
him.
the Mexican pizza and 2 tacos.
No,
and
see, we've
soda,
talked about Taco Bell.
and that's it.
We've talked about Taco Bell, and that's sort
But
of a
that's
mess.
what it is. You're saying you are yielding, you are acquiescing
to the
You-
man.
You are
That's
yes,
correct.
You are submitting yourself to the man.
That's correct.
Instead of saying,
Licking those
man, I'm
boots.
telling you right now, having the chicken with the fries and
When I go to a place, I do not want what I want. I want what they want me to have.
wow,
Wow.
Yes.
Capitalism, boy.
This is a horrible take.
This
Yeah.
is
It's a
Imagine
weird
I
take.
know.
doing something,
That's a
eating
really
something
weird
because they
take.
told you to.
So-
I'm an adult, man. My mom can't tell me what to eat anymore.
Oh, but then you're gonna sub out. You're gonna get 2 breads. Like this
So,
is your solution to the
extra
problem.
fries, bro.
extra
breads.
fries,
Extra fries.
So your little mind would have been blown
My little mind.
30 years ago when we started going away from the person behind the counter got your soft drink and we got to fill our own soft drinks.
Oh,
Your mind.
What do I do?
Tell me what I'm supposed to have. Is it a Coke or is it a Sprite?
yeah,
Remember
but then,
that-
you know what? Like 4-year-olds do. They put all of them in there,
Oh,
and
I
it
did that.
sucks.
Yeah, it
It's
does
the
not
worst.
But yeah, but then they drink it and it doesn't
You still
matter
do that,
because-
Nick?
I don't still do it, but I did
Okay.
it a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, I did too.
You know
but
what I hate?
when I
The
grew up.
Coca-Cola vending machines that you could put any flavor
Oh,
in.
I
Those are
hate
the
them.
worst things
They
on
so
planet
cool.
Earth.
Everything tastes like everything. I hate
Yeah,
those
it's
damn
all
things.
coming out of the same spout. Not a great.
Well, you
thing.
gotta-
Oh, pipes.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Just
hit
give me
it for a
Diet
bit
Coke.
to
I
let
don't
it
want cherry
filter out.
vanilla Diet Coke.
Still bad.
Give me
Yeah,
Diet Coke.
that's.
Sprite especially. Sprite is ruined with those damn machines.
I
Right.
would agree. It's not
Triggered. I'm
good.
triggered thinking about it.
I thought. Now this takes
I just
pretty
like
bad.
having
I
Lime
had a
Coke.
producer once upon a time. Jack Mitchell and I had
Get
a
a lime.
producer one time that would refuse to go get refills. You know how you finish your meal and then you go get a refill
No, you
before
gotta
leave?
have the refill.
Would refuse to do it because I didn't pay for that.
Okay, that's insane.
What?
This
I know
example
I
of
sound
yours
insane,
of
but-
yielding to the man and saying, "Oh, great, Taco Bell God in the sky, tell me what I'm supposed to eat."
I want to have
This
you.
is pretty close.
I want to
Is it
have
Chris
as many
Whitney?
unique food
No, his name was
experiences as
Dane.
it
Good
possibly
kid.
can.
Dane
What
Cook?
Kind of
about?
reminds me
So
of.
I do agree
of
with
a
that.
more-
But what
of-
about that place where it's like "Have it your way"? You know, the whole slogan was "Have it your
Yeah.
way." It's
That's
your way,
Burger
not
King.
I don't
their
like
way,
that. It's a
not
bad
our
slogan.
way.
It's a bad slogan.
Hap, if
So Hap would have approved if Burger King's slogan would have been,
Have it our way.
"I yield to your greatness."
man,
They know.
this is
I-
crazy to me.
I kneel to
It's like
the
no
Burger
matter what,
King.
you go to a place to get a burger, and there's
Game of
one thing
Thrones.
on there that you're not a fan of.
No,
you'll
but I
still-
like all the things. That's the thing. I wouldn't have this steak if I didn't like.
But what
a
if
lot
there
of
was like a
things.
what if there was like a burger? Because my wife does this a lot.
My
Thank you.
wife.
That it's got a lot of stuff she likes on it, but she absolutely cannot stand mushrooms. She always orders with the mushrooms off.
I would probably stray away from that burger entirely and pick a
But
different.
what
burger.
if
if she
it
likes
had
everything else?
that you love?
Well, okay, so I
Imagine
think
But this
the
doesn't
greatest
apply to me
burger
because
of
I
your
like
mind.
mushrooms.
I think what
Well,
Connor
I know, but I'm just using this as an
I think
example.
what Connor's trying is the burger that has the mushrooms was meant to have mushrooms. It was crafted in mind
That's
with
what
the
I'm saying.
mushrooms. So without
That's
the
what I'm
mushrooms, it
yeah,
won't
by
taste the
some
same.
corporate pinhead who thinks they know better than your taste
No,
buds.
by a
John, you don't-
5-star chef every time.
Yes. That person at Hamburger University at McDonald's. is
I'm
a
just
five-star
giving
chef.
Connor's view. You don't have to yell at me for being a corporate shill, John.
Okay, you already did that once
I'm
today.
the corporate shill.
You know how much I love corporations.
Tweet from Shangping Appreciation
Yeah,
Club.
let's hear it.
First of all, he says, "Oh, Josh, what are you going to do? Eat what you want and not what you don't want?" Quoting you. And then he says, "I've officially disavowed Connor Happer." So
Yeah, I get that.
the folks are coming for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Text from Steve says, I repeat an earlier question, is having weird food hangups a requirement to get hired at 1620,
This
or do
isn't
they just
weird.
have a really good training
This
program?
is actually
This is weird.
This is more representative of me liking a lot of different foods, where other people at 1620 The Zone, who may or may not be in the room, just won't eat certain foods in general. Like, I think that's worse. I eat all the foods, and I would like to, like Nick, have a well-balanced, that's not really part of it. But
yeah, when I go to fast food, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, exactly.
well-balanced
I'm not thinking
nature
of a
of my
well-balanced
meal.
meal. It's just like when McDonald's tried to include apple slices.
I used to-
like,
Get out of
Like,
here.
I
I
used
go
to
to McDonald's
pick
not
the-
for that garbage.
I used to pick the pickles off of the burgers or whatever, and I'm like, this is stupid. This is a waste of time. Or tell them to get just let's see what happens if I keep eating the burger with the pickles on it.
So you
and that's
force
how I
yourself
came to
to
like
like it?
pickles. Yes,
Maybe that'll happen with Schaefer.
maybe.
No, I get it,
I
'cause
love
they're-
the idea of this. This burger was meant to have pickles on it.
It
Thus, I
was.
must eat it.
Well,
with the
because they're
pickles.
getting the chicken
Even
sandwich.
Pickles make me break out.
There
in
are
hives.
some ingredients that are minor that heighten the overall flavor of the burger, right? Like if you got a
Well, sure there are.
cheeseburger without onions on it, you're going to notice the difference. It's not going
Sure.
to quite taste the same. It won't
Sure.
overpower it,
Yeah.
but it affects
But
the
maybe
flavor.
sometimes I want a cheeseburger with onions, and maybe sometimes I'm like, I'm just not feeling the onions today.
Not
That
feeling
happens
the
with me
onions.
all
Don't
the
get
time.
a cheeseburger.
So, but I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I want a burger.
Yeah.
I
love
want
it.
it.
Sometimes I'll do
so-
pickles and
What do you do at
onions
Five
and
Guys?
All right.
lettuce.
So this week,
Everything. I mean, like,
do you really? Do you do the one that's like all?
it's not
I
everything.
don't think you can literally do everything. There's
Yeah, you
so
can.
much.
There's like a.
No, you
I know,
can.
you
There's an option.
can, but
I
it's
mean,
sort of disgusting.
Yeah, and
It's
it's,
a
just, it's
monstrosity,
everywhere and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what do you do like when you're at, let's say, like this weekend, family function, and people set up a burger bar?
There's a buffet or something like that.
Yeah, where grandpa slays a bunch
Happer.
of burgers on the grill, and grandma's got the tomatoes and the onions and the pickles and the ketchup and the mustard and the mayonnaise and the butter and the this and the that. Do you just say, Grandma, what am I supposed to do here?
I'm confused. I'm not going to eat today.
How did
No.
you mean for me to eat this?
I with burgers in particular, we're talking about burgers.
Yeah.
I like to craft a pretty classic burger. So whatever there is, like onions, tomatoes,
Pickles.
lettuce, pickles,
cheese,
cheese,
little bacon, maybe.
Yeah, sure, but doesn't need to be there.
And it-
Ketchup, mustard. That's it.
Mhm.
So I'll craft it the way I want it in that scenario.
Mm.
But if given I don't believe in substitutions.
Oh, we know.
That's what I'm saying.
We've learned.
Yeah.
We've learned.
Substitution.
I
But see, what's the
understand
difference
where you're
between that
coming
and a
from, Happer.
sandwich shop? Because literally, when you go to a sandwich shop, you're standing there at the Subway or the
Yeah.
Jimmy John's, and you're like, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Yeah, like I'm not getting a number 2. I don't know what they have meal deals at Subway. Like I'm not getting a number 2 from Subway. Although sometimes I do get like a meatball sandwich or something like that. You don't put anything on a meatball sandwich, so there's no customization there.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I get what I want at those places. I get what I
Have
want.
it your way.
I get what I want at a buffet, but I do find myself at those places less.
Yeah. Because there's just too many options for you. You
Craft
want them to
it.
choose.
It's the restaurant's responsibility to make something that they think would
Do you
be
just
good
lean over to the
for
busboy
me.
who's cleaning up the table behind you and say, what am I supposed to
I ask almost every time. I ask the waiters.
At
I'm
a
like,
buffet?
no, not the buffet. Hey, what's good here, man?
So you're Golden
So really
Corral.
like the surf and turf. No, I ask the waiters and the waitresses a lot. Like, hey,
Are
what
you
do
ready
think?
to hear something? They hate that. They
I'm
hate,
sure they do.
hate being asked
I'm
which,
sure that
what
I sometimes give them the option to like pick between two.
because their taste buds are way different than your taste buds.
Right.
So they're
and then
like,
if, they,
I
and
can't
then if you
stand-
say something and then
and then if they
don't like it,
dislike it, if you ask somebody and then you get it and you're
That
like, I
makes
don't like
sense.
this very much.
But
They're like,
usually
well,
all of a
you
sudden-
asked me, you idiot.
all of
Usually
a
I
sudden
like
the tip is 10% instead of 40.
I get it down to like 2, and then
Mm-hmm.
basically I'm just like pick one at random.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
I'm bad at deciding. But
I
every
am
once in a
too.
while at a restaurant, I come up with a big, like a really good order. But I won't tell anybody my order because I don't want anybody to copy off of me at the table.
What?
What?
Why?
Okay, this is the weirdest food
okay,
I've
no,
ever.
that's-
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I thought that Damon not wanting red sauce on pizza, aka a normal way to eat pizza,
That's
was
just
the
pizza.
weirdest thing at the Zone. That is the weirdest
I'm
thing.
What?
at the
Not
Zone.
confused
telling
about
anybody
this
my
one.
order at the
I'm
table?
confused about
That's like
it.
a part of
Yeah.
small talk.
Yeah, why
like, hey,
would
what are
you-
we having for dinner,
Yeah.
guys?
Because
What
here's what
difference?
happened.
It's not like your homework
they
is being
asked, my
copied
wife
off
asked me,
of.
what are you going to get? And I was like, whatever it
Chicken
is.
sandwich.
The chicken sandwich. I'm going to get the chicken sandwich. Oh, that sounds really good. I think I'm going to get the chicken
Why is that a
sandwich.
problem?
Then there's 2 chicken sandwiches at the table.
Now, wait a minute. When you're having
No, wait,
dinner
let
at
me
home,
finish.
are you
It's
having the
because you
same
wanna
meal?
try something
She's
else
not
that
going to
another
eat some
person
of her
has?
food. And then, I had the same thing already. You got to get something else. Figure out something else.
Wait a minute. When you're eating at home, you're eating the same thing.
That's true. It's different at home.
So why don't
It's
you
different.
reverse the roles? You go to your wife and be like, "Hey, what are you gonna get?" and then get the opposite of that
Mm.
or
Uh,
another thing.
I've probably done that before.
Wow.
I've probably done that before.
I can't defend this one. I don't understand.
That's
this.
okay.
That makes no sense. Yeah, it's about what you want. That's why they give you a menu. You get, I want that.
No,
It's a
It's
menu.
about what they want me
A
to
menu.
have.
It's not a
Very-
me.
Yeah. Not a men it's a menu.
There you go.
It's a men us.
Jordan says, I imagine Happer hiding his food choice like the nuclear codes at the table. Hey, what are you thinking? I'm not going to.
When you're looking at
When
when
you're
you're
like
looking
playing Alan Ludden on Password. And the password is
Yeah.
chicken
Well, I take a lot of
cacciatore.
pride.
when you're looking at your menu, do you like keep it down and then have it covered like you would in
Yeah,
school?
yeah.
He's
like
looking at different ones to
got-
I
pretend.
put a file
He-
folder on the
he's-
side of it.
He's got the
Yeah.
visor on with the green tint and the dark sunglasses and the earbuds in. He looks like he's
Yeah.
getting ready to lay down, a hand in Texas Hold'em.
Because here's one of the greatest feelings. You order it. You order the thing that you haven't told anybody that you're going to order, and then the waiter says, "Oh yes, great order. I love that." And that is one of the great satisfactions in life. That is one of the best things you could do. I love that.
Get the praise of the
Wow.
waiter.
Thanks, man.
Ha,
I knew
Adam,
I could pick it.
After hearing these terrible food takes, stick to sports.
Man.
You guys asked. You
we
guys
did.
wanted
It
this.
all
Have it
started-
your way.
Yeah, can
It
we
all
go
has to
back
do
to
with
the?
bread.
Can we go back to
Go back to the Huskers. Yeah.
Some news coming down. This is not sports related,
Uh-oh.
but R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Oof.
Good.
After being convicted of racketeering and sex trafficking. I don't bring up the news to talk about the news. I bring it up to read the best tweet of all time from dear friend of the station, Alan Bell. He says, "The remix to Ignition. Now you're headed for prison."
Mm.
Very good. That's a lyric, John. Oh, nobody got
From
it.
the
Okay.
song called Remix
I got
Edition.
it.
Oh, I
thought
got
it
it.
was
I
funny.
got it.
I
I
got
got
it. Well, the password joke you made also went over my
Hot
head
and
too.
fresh out.
Yeah,
the
that's like
prison.
a reference to a show from the 70s, John. Well, I only knew about that because I watched WGN as a kid sometimes.
There you go. At least somebody got it.
You guys and your toast. You guys started this entire
You need
thing.
the toast to help clean up.
You don't
after.
need 2 toasts.
No, I agree. That's
You
why
need
I'm
2
saying
toasts.
it's you get the fries and not the toast.
Unless you want to make your own sandwich, then you can get the 2 toasts.
Are you worried
Well,
about
then why
the,
don't you just get the damn sandwich?
I brought this up
Because
earlier.
It's not the same.
Do you worry about like the portion of fries they're going to give you? Because it fits in the little fry section.
Oh, but when you
I
get
love
the
when you get
double-
extra. Oh, it just kind
When
of
you get a
dumps
double, does it
everywhere.
overflow?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Okay,
it's
that's cool.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fries.
I actually
I'd be worried that I wasn't getting enough bang for my buck on a double fry. Because
there's
I
plenty of
mean, fries are
Yeah, there's
individual
plenty of
things.
fries.
Okay, good.
If anything, you need more cane sauce.
I would actually
Sometimes I order
I
another
get-
one.
Yeah.
I get upset when I order extra fries and they give me a separate little styrofoam thing full of fries. I want them all to be piled and shoved in there.
Oh.
I want to feel like I'm excavating the chicken.
That's the thing with that sometimes though, the food the fries especially get a bit soggy.
So I used to poke holes in the box, a little
Oh.
air in there so they stay a little crispy.
I don't go to that
I
place
actually
very
don't
often.
hate soggy fries. I don't love them, but
Yeah.
I'm impartial.
Yeah, but
crossover is
the
getting
kind of
I'm
fries-
so
the-
impartial.
The kind of fries they serve at Cane's,
They gotta be crispy.
They lend themselves much more to.
I get home and I'll
crispier
throw them in the
stuff.
air fryer sometimes for like 2 minutes just to
Mm.
get them crisp back
I'm
up
not
again.
patient enough.
I mean, even hot, those fries are kind of floppy anyway.
Yeah, okay, that's why you want to get them crispy. A chance.
Here's another. You want another food thing?
Why not?
Oh boy,
I have a really difficult time.
this
I
is
have a
about
real-
to blow our minds.
I have a really difficult time like not eating food the second that I get it.
Oh, that's a normal take. I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that happens
You're
with me too.
fine.
I always
Right.
hate when you go to a
When
place.
if I'm driving in the drive-through, like I'm gonna
oh,
take
see,
it
I'll
home.
take that. I take that stuff home.
No, I gotta eat it pretty much
Really?
right away.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe-
like
Well, I guess the pressure's on then for Friday. We haven't even said what we're doing on
I
Friday.
said
Oh,
last
that's gonna be
week,
fun
last
crossover.
Sandwiches.
Yes, we're doing chicken sandwich challenge during
Let's
the
go.
crossover. But that means we're gonna have to back time our delivery I mean, we don't want him sitting out too long, or else Hap's going to go.
It's fine.
He's going to go into convulsions.
No, it can sit out for however long. It's just from when I see it. From when I lay eyes
from
upon
when you
it.
see it,
So we can hide it when you walk in.
So we could have it like sitting in the back room for like 3 hours, but as long as he doesn't see it,
That's
It'll
right.
be good
It's
to
like
go.
playing
peekaboo.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
once I see it, the mental clock's going off, and it's like
It's getting
it's
colder.
like the clock in 24. I hope this is a contemporary enough reference. for you.
24 is only 15 years old.
Chance says, quoting Happer, "Oh boy, I can't wait for a pork tenderloin." Someone else orders a pork tenderloin. No.
That's true. That's
Damn it! I was
exactly-
looking forward to that.
And then I say,
Even
I
though
mean,
you're in a place that serves only pork
and
tenderloin.
I'm really nice, and I'll say, you know what, you can get the pork tenderloin. I'll come up with something else.
So if you're getting canes with
Amazing.
somebody and they get the box combo, and you get the caniac, it's basically the same thing, just with more food. Are you?
That's true.
How
Do
you do that?
That's a different scenario, obviously.
Dude, the
is it?
caniac with extra fries. Holy cow, you don't have to eat for a
There's
week.
only one thing you can order at that place. It's just chicken and fries and coleslaw and toast.
Or the sandwich that has
Depending on the size
and
of
the
the
sweet
box.
sandwich.
Depending on the
Yeah,
size of the
sandwich
box.
is a waste.
It's not like they have a menu where you can get like, you know, a chicken sandwich or a hot dog.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What if
Actually, you might be able to
Cane's
get a hot
selling
dog at
dogs?
Raising Cane's. I'm not sure.
Before you
You
leave,
can.
I don't know what this means. So you have to tell us. Schaefer says also seeing Happer treated as the Jake Sorensen of 1620 The Zone is wild.
Yeah, it is.
What does that mean?
Is he a bad food takes too?
Horrible. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Really bad.
Really? Like, what's one of his strange takes?
He didn't eat seafood, I don't think, for the first like 30 years of his life.
That's not that unusual.
But if he hadn't
especially
tried
if you're-
it,
especially if you're from Nebraska, it's not that unusual.
like,
But like,
Yeah, it's
shrimp,
not that unusual.
I don't trust
We're-
seafood
we're not
from a
talking
double
Happer
landlocked
unusual
state.
here.
I just, I don't think this is that unusual.
Happer just likes to be controlled.
apparently, yeah. Seriously,
Yes.
1984. You should read that book.
Tell me what I want,
Be
please.
a big fan. Jordan says,
Do you have a
food.
Do you have a safe
They're the
word
same
when it comes to ordering food?
But then you end up eating the same.
Only if somebody else orders the same thing he wanted.
Yeah, don't kink shame.
You end up eating the same food for your entire sad lives. You guys enjoy that.
Dave says, I imagine Happer ordering at a restaurant with the menu covering his mouth like John Gruden calling plays. You're like, hey, server, can you come over here? I need to whisper my order to you.
Start bringing a
I
baseball
take
mitt
it
with
very
you.
seriously. Yes.
Do you always make sure you order last at the table then?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just want everybody to. I want there to be a reaction when I say
That would
my
be
order.
awesome though if Hap did the whole mouth covering thing. Yeah, the chicken parm.
I'll have to test that out. It'll probably
You
work.
should.
What if somebody orders the chicken parm after you just ordered the chicken parm? You hadn't discussed it. It's like, hey, I want this.
Uh,
And they're
there's-
like,
that's a good
yeah.
question.
Yeah, because it's still the same thing.
There's a certain amount of pride there.
Okay.
That you were first.
We need to have a zone food outing, and Happer orders first, and then we all just get the exact same
I
thing.
love that.
Yeah, but then the
I would be
problem
super
is
happy.
then the problem is we're gonna be stuck eating exactly what
That's
the restaurant
true.
tells us. We
That's
have to eat
true.
instead of getting our own stuff.
Like,
because
what are you
after
known
all, We're
for?
the customer.
What's the restaurant known for? You go to Portillo's and you're going to get an Italian beef. I don't want like, I don't want to take the hot peppers off of there. I don't want to get a hot, I don't want to get a hot.
Well,
dog's
yeah,
a bad
most of the
thing.
time the stuff that comes on the stuff is good, but occasionally you just want to.
There might just be one tiny little thing.
Yeah, or
No.
you might want extra. of
Deal
Though
with
I
something.
will say,
Deal with it.
One of my best friends got so mad at me one time because we were at Sinful Burger, and one of their burgers there, it had like mozzarella sticks and onion rings on it, but I didn't want barbecue sauce, even though like that was in the name. And so I was like, could I get the barbecue sauce burger, but without the barbecue sauce? And my friend got so mad.
I would be super triggered.
Yeah,
if
I
did
know.
that.
I know.
No,
I don't want that on there, though. I want the onion rings.
I'm not anti-substitution, but I also find myself never asking for something off. But I was with somebody.
It's because you just don't want to like do it. You very
It
anxiety
doesn't.
ridden.
Okay, no, Josh.
You feel like you're hurting someone's feelings.
Yes,
when you do that.
exactly.
No, the
Oh, I
amount
don't
of
care
things
about their
that don't
feelings.
bother me, it just doesn't bother me. I'll eat whatever I'm given. It doesn't bother me. But I've been with people before where they're like, hey, can you order for me at the drive-thru? I want this, but without this, 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 and this. And then it just gets annoying.
Oh yeah. I
And then
get
it's
that.
like, okay, I don't know what you don't want now. You want this. And then they're telling you while you're ordering it. And then their order gets messed up. And you give it to them. And then they get all mad.
yeah, make it simple.
You just make it simple.
That's part of it.
Hmm.
Small part of it, but it's part of
Like,
it.
I'm not anti-substitution, but I get it.
You know what this has done for maybe the first time ever put Josh and I on the same team when it comes to food
I know.
talk.
This is
crazy.
incredible.
We're like,
It's a brave new world out there.
Listening
Frank.
from
Josh is feeling normal for the first
I
time.
really do. I'm like, wow, I'm
I
not
don't
the
feel
weird
so
one.
weird now.
Yeah.
listening to you guys from the outside for years, I always thought that Josh had the dumbest food takes, but I'm being yelled at by Josh.
Yeah. Tough luck for you, man.
It is.
This
Yeah.
feels bad.
No, I'm with you.
I
I'm with
don't
you.
like this
I'm
very
with you.
much.
Congrats.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
Yeah. You got him on your side.
Yeah.
I feel great
Not a
again.
bad thing. Oh, wow.
Nick's cool.
Oh,
No,
thank you.
no,
No
yeah.
one's saying he's uncool.
I thought you were taking away the
No,
fist
no,
bump.
no. I'm never reversal.
Yeah, let's reverse that.
You know what? Let's pull that back.
That said, Damon still has some of the weirdest ones.
Oh,
he doesn't
yeah.
eat vegetables.
Yeah, Damon.
That is
Damon's a
weird.
dog.
Yeah,
He's a
vegetables are awesome.
I love me some
I had green
steamed
beans for
veggies.
lunch today.
Yeah.
With bacon on them. Leftovers from last night.
Sure.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Happy New Year.
Happy
New
Year. Plus, Nick, that was like 30 minutes, dude. That's
Yeah, no, I know.
awesome.
That'll be a 45 segment in the best of the crossovers.
There you go.
Coming up today on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Heating up Wednesday. We'll see plenty of sunshine throughout the day with south and southwest winds picking up in the morning, gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour through the afternoon. Highs climbing into the mid-90s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone, live and local, broadcasting 6A to 6P in the Host Coffee Zone studio. Host Coffee, building healthy and happy break room refreshment services to Omaha and Lincoln metro area businesses. Discover a better break room solution for your office at sales@hostcoffee.net.
Hey friends, Kent Pavelka here, back with John Higgins and the Rooferees at the Weather Guard showroom. A lot of people will, well, I had some bids here and just got to go with this guy.
We always ask the customer, did you get the referrals on those companies? Do your homework and check how long they've been in business. We try to stay really competitive. Doesn't matter if it's a Da Vinci wood shingle, asphalt shingle, vinyl siding, or hardy siding.
Just go with somebody who has the track record, right?
Right.
There's only one call to make. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Zone TV is now live at 1620thezone.com, powered by Tickets for Less. Watch us live and see what's happening from behind the scenes every weekday from 6A to 6B. No matter how you listen or watch, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone TV, powered by Tickets for Less. Find tickets for all your favorite events, concerts, and more, both local and outside Nebraska, at ticketsforless.com. Do our Zone guys have a face for radio? You decide. Watch us today on Zone TV, powered by Tickets for Less at 1620thezone.com.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
All right, so now that the normal people outnumber the abnormal people 2-1, we can begin this program.
Going to be a great show today.
Yes, it is.
Going to be a great show today.
Numbers and stuff.
Numbers and
Football
stuff.
nerdy stuff.
Awesome.
Sportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
And Wimbledon.
No more Wimbledon.
Wow, big tennis guy
She
John.
already lost. Get out.
Yeah, we know. You didn't like the American winning. I get it.
Didn't want to talk about. Wait, John, if you gave an occasional update, fine. You were doing like live updates of every second.
Well, it was literally like it was in the tiebreaker, and she was like, it was.
We were discussing tiebreaker scenarios for way too long.
We were curious.
Every player.
Don't you like that about this time of year? We can diversify. You libs are all about being diversified.
Are you not about being diversified?
I am. That's what I'm saying. We talk tennis.
Us libs are about being diversified then. Yeah, you want to talk about tennis. Meanwhile, I mention a soccer score for like 5 seconds and you like take the microphone and throw it at my face.
Or I try to shoehorn Formula 1 in and you guys get all mad
Well,
at me.
that's smartly.
Right. Because if there's a sport that has even less passing than soccer, it's Formula 1.
They pass
There's a lot of passing in
the
soccer.
lead changes just
I
don't
meant
happen
lead
as
changes.
much.
That's what I meant by passing.
They're still passing.
That's right. That's all there is in soccer is passing.
Pass,
Kick,
pass. Kick,
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 and
and
a
a throw in.
That's a funny drop.
It's a funny drop. It's an old drop.
That's a really old drop.
Hey, like I said, we got some stuff. I've been working on a thing a few days,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited to share. But like I was telling Josh before the show, it might be one of those things where I put a lot of work into it and then it doesn't get a whole lot out of it. I did anyway.
I'm excited. I have no idea what this
because
is.
I want to know how these players are going to be used in this offense.
It's a great question.
And we're going to look into some numbers. So we'll do that. And speaking of numbers, Adam McClintock of CFB Professor fame at CFB Professor has done his projections. We
Is
shared
your
this.
computer broken?
We shared this yesterday. 73% chance, saith Adam's computer, that
Mhm.
Nebraska wins 7 or more games. 73% chance. That's a 3 and 4 chance.
Is it broken? That's the
A
question.
55% chance that Nebraska wins 8 or more games.
Is it really broken?
We're going to ask him why.
Yeah.
And then we'll share some of my numbers that I worked on this last week. Shafe will join us. It's part of our lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. And
Let's
it's
go.
Dumb Debates Day.
Oh, well, if that crossover wasn't dumb enough for you,
Then stand by for Dumb Debates.
Oh, yeah.
Where we tackle any subject that you want us to tackle. And you can send us your dumb debates anytime. JTech Instructors on Twitter feed at USC1620.
Text us.
Use the hashtag Dumb Debates.
Yes, please. Please do, because people keep forgetting the hashtag.
Yeah, use the hashtag.
Yeah.
Use the hashtag.
You can text in your dumb debates too.
You could, but again, it's easier on the Twitter.
It's easier on the
It is
Twitter.
easier
I'm
on the
just
Twitter
giving other
because
options.
of the hashtag.
Because
What
of
if somebody's
the
not
hashtag.
around the Twitter, but they're around their phone?
Well, then
Well, then they must not have Twitter on their phone. because it's literally this. Basically, it's the same function. You're just using a different application.
Again, they
But you're
can't do that,
typing
Nick.
the same.
I'm just saying it's easier for us.
Or what of our many listeners who might not have the Twitter, but they do have the texting?
Well, then
you probably like these people because they
probably
deleted
have
Twitter.
You probably have the email.
I do. More and more people that I know have been deleting their Twitters as of late. A person that I mentioned, I said his name in the crossover. I asked a question, put a question mark at the end of his name. He deleted his Twitter last week. Indeed.
Well, you know what? More power to you.
More power to you.
But if you want to use the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620 or old school email.
Yeah.
That's the Equitable Bank inbox. EquitableOnline.com. John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com.
Hell yes.
So a lot of stuff. We went long in the crossover. So take a quick break. Come back because we're going to have Adam McClintock coming up very shortly.
Yeah.
And Josh is going to attack him.
What is going on with your computer and is it broken?
You know what? It's probably the same thing happened to his computer. It happened to Miss Cynthia's computer.
Oh, it just zoomed in on everything.
Zoomed in on everything, and she couldn't get it to unzoom.
Did they fix that, Nick? Did they fix the Zoom?
No, I don't.
No idea.
I don't think so because when I visited with Miss Cynthia earlier today, her eyes were all like bugged out.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, they were like popping out of her head. It's like I can't see it. Everything's so
Oh,
close.
no.
Stop getting so close to me. We're still in COVID.
Damn.
Yeah, it was scary.
Well, that's a bummer.
So hopefully we got that taken care of. Hopefully it's part of our health plan.
That'd be nice.
Here at the Nerd Media.
Mm-hmm.
It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
At Woodhouse, we make car buying simple. From test drive to purchase, we're here to help guide you to your next vehicle with no pressure sales, transparent pricing, and a streamlined purchase process to save you time. Finding the place to shop for your next vehicle just got easier. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, or SUV, we will get you on the road faster with a vehicle that exceeds your expectations. Find new roads and explore all our inventory arriving daily at WoodhouseGM.com and at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Summer is here, and if you have a gotta-get-it-done-this-year project, trust the official exterior experts of the Huskers, JTech Construction. Call them for a free estimate on roofing, siding, windows, or even solar. They're close by with 3 locations in Nebraska, including Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. Need financing? JTech offers 0% interest for 60 months. Call 402-261-3682 or go online to yourexteriorexperts.com. JTech Construction, Nebraska's exterior expert.
Looking good, Mrs. Dubs.
The head groundskeeper at Thad's Golf Course just retired.
We need to find someone in the next 2 weeks. Someone with botany and management experience.
He needs a replacement because the greens are already looking a little rough.
Aeration. They need to know it all.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Being present and in the moment for family activities was impossible because Will Burt was so focused on the constant pain in his leg.
My wife likes to take walks. I always kind of dreaded going on walks because they hurt. The boys both play baseball. I coach their teams. I was going to do them and be in pain and be uncomfortable and kind of sacrifice my own health.
An old Achilles injury left Will coping with agonizing pain until he discovered the natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No surgery or steroids. The procedure took place in the office and Will walked right out.
I feel great. There's no pain. There's no tenderness.
Patients like Will are feeling amazing and living their best lives.
Ironically, just got off the golf course today. So I think that's a good telltale sign that the Achilles is feeling better.
Don't be in pain another day. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 402-205-4960. That's 402-205-4960. 402-205-4960.
Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, the original peanut butter whiskey, reminds you to play it safe and drink responsibly this baseball season. Things are bound to get a little nutty, but make sure you do your part and enjoy safely.
Fireworks season is here. This week is a Zone Deal 4th of July Mega Week. Each day will feature deals from businesses sure to make your 4th of July great, half off. Check out our deals from Bellino Fireworks and La Smash Room. And to fill your stomachs, a half off deal from Cops. All for half off. Don't miss this 4th of July Zone Mega Week at 1620thezone.com and click deals.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
The 1620, The Zone.
John writes in to the Equitable Bank inbox. Says Nebraska has a 73% chance of winning 7 games, and expert says, didn't the experts also tell us that Tanner Lee was going to be one and done first-round draft pick at Nebraska? How'd that work out?
Different experts.
Different experts.
That's
true.
Different experts. It is so fascinating, the humans and the computers not agreeing. And when I say the humans,
It's going to lead to the war, right?
Between
Between the humans and the computer.
Sure.
Yeah, we did it for the movie club.
Sure.
Terminator, the second one.
We did.
Yeah.
Scott Docterman over at the Athletic did an Iowa athletics poll. You know, he polled his readers over there in Iowa who follow his work over on the Athletic, similar to what Mitch Sherman has done in the past. I reached out to Mitch. He's working on something similar that will be later this summer.
Ooh.
But a couple of the questions were rather fascinating. Now, there's others in here that, you know, we can use to actually pick on Iowa, and I'm sure we will. But
nice.
Not nice.
Oh, it's going to be nice.
Very cool state.
Which team is Iowa's biggest rival? Wisconsin at 45%. That's not terribly surprising.
Yeah.
But it's not like they play for a big trophy game. I mean, Minnesota's been their big trophy game for decades.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, Iowa State is second.
Iowa State second, 32%.
The way in which Iowa views that rivalry is like, even Michigan, I feel like they would consider Michigan State a bigger rival than Iowa considers Iowa State. And they have Ohio State. It just, for whatever reason, Iowa fans seem so disinterested. Maybe it's just that they've kind of owned the series. Maybe they think it's beneath them. I don't know, but they really do not seem to be big fans.
Nebraska was only at 7.6%. So for all of you who have for years said it's not a rivalry, this is fuel for your fire.
Mm-hmm.
See, Iowa doesn't even acknowledge it, so neither should we. Because we get the rivalry snobbishness that happens around here. It's like people are afraid to have rivalries. I don't know why, but they do. But then the next question, which team do you dislike the most? And again, these are Iowa fans responding to Scott Docterman of the Athletic. 56% said Nebraska.
See, and that's funny because I bet if you asked a question, who's Nebraska's biggest rival, people would want to say like Wisconsin. And then they'd be like, who do you hate the most? Iowa.
Yeah.
It's both sides. They just can't admit it. That's
Right.
why they're perfect for each other.
Exactly.
They're not our rivals, but God, I hate them the most.
I hate them the most.
Yeah, it's so funny.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, 56% said Nebraska.
Mhm.
Only 20% Iowa State. And then Wisconsin, the team that they said was their rival, only 10% said they dislike Wisconsin the most. And I'll tell you what this is really spelling out is that this whole Floyd of Rosedale thing is just for show. I mean, Minnesota finishes a distant third in biggest rival and a distant fourth in which team you dislike the most. And you're playing for a frozen pig.
That's a cool trophy, though.
It's a cool trophy, but that's all it is. Basically, it's just the broken bit, the $5 broken bits of chair trophy. That's what it is. It's just got a longer history, but it doesn't really mean anything because people don't get angry about it.
Sad. Maybe they like PJ Fleck in Iowa.
Yeah, and you would think PJ Fleck is at least. I get if you don't like Frost, you think because Frost kind of represented, Nebraska in the 90s and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking if you're an Iowa person.
Talking
but
a big
Fleck,
game.
if you're just looking at him in terms of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this was the dude that Kirk Ferentz used 3 timeouts on 2 years ago.
Ha! That was funny.
And you can't even gin up enough dislike for Minnesota?
Sad.
Yeah, scrap that trophy. It ain't worth anything.
Yeah.
Their 4th most hated, 3rd biggest rival. Get that thing out of here.
JD, an Iowa fan and a friend of the program, says, Iowa fan here. We hate the Iowa versus Iowa State game. If Iowa wins, they get no credit nationally for winning it. And when Iowa loses it, they get killed by the national media. It's a no-win game for Iowa. Last year was the first time Iowa gained something in that win. So, yeah, like I said, Iowa State, they are so far beneath them. They're just not fans of it anymore. Plus, in the recent
Even
vintage,
though ESPN's brought game day there like 2 out of the last 3 years.
That's true. In recent vintage, that game Like there has been a little bit more spice to it, given, I'd say the Matt Campbell of it all.
Sure. And Iowa State's been better.
But also, as the Big Ten moved into the 9-game, conference schedule,
right
now Iowa's non-con sucks because it's Iowa State and two MAC schools.
God, does it suck. In fact, they announced yesterday their future non-conference schedules. Get a load of this. 2023, Western Michigan at Iowa, Utah State. 2024, now they haven't filled them all yet, but 2024, Illinois State, Iowa State. 2025, Florida Atlantic at Iowa State, UMass. 2026, now, strangely, maybe the contracts run out, but there is no Iowa State game after 2026. Northern Illinois and Northern Iowa. 2027, Ball State. 2029,
Gross.
Northern Illinois. Cool.
Gross. That's a bad non-conference schedule. So I get their frustration
Brutal.
because they want to play better teams. They want to play more fun teams, and they just don't get a chance to do it. And Iowa State takes up, one of the three, and they're not going to play 11 Power 5 games a year. Christina says, my husband is from Minnesota, and he hates Iowa with a fiery passion. It's why I married him. Congrats to Christina and her husband.
Great, but guess what? Feelings not reciprocated.
Apparently not.
Iowa doesn't really give a crap about you.
Apparently not.
They had to just send that trophy up to Minnesota and say, here, you want it so
Bring
bad?
that trophy back to Minneapolis.
Just take it. We don't want it. We don't really care that much. I mean, we want to win the game because it matters, but all it is a number in the left-hand column.
Just another game.
It's just another game.
Sad.
The next time I hear anyone waxing poetic about, that Floyd of Rosedale, BS. BS. You believe in the Heroes Trophy more than you do in Floyd of Rosedale.
Sad.
Or that, which one was it? The Iowa State one, the weird one where the dad is handing the daughter
the corn,
the very large ear of corn.
Here's your corn, daughter.
The very inappropriately large ear of corn.
Take this with you and go out into the world.
That was the Iowa. That was the Iowa State.
Every time we turn 10, they always give us a giant ear.
Is that what
of corn.
it is? Here's your corn, son.
It's Iowa tradition.
But Dad, we don't have ESPN. Oh, I met his dad at the College World Series.
I did too.
They left, and I meant to. I should have asked him. Did you have ESPN when Nick was growing up?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He would have said, "Of course we did."
Oh, and it would have been perfect because Ryan McGee was sitting right there.
Oh, it would have been great.
I could have said, "Hey," and then Nick's dad could have said, "Yeah, Ryan McGee's on my TV all the time," but Nick would never acknowledge it because he didn't think we had ESPN.
I think, was Ryan working at ESPN when I would have been 7?
He's been there a while.
Yeah, I bet he was.
My dad cut the satellite cord when I was around 7.
I bet. Well, the satellite comes in from the space.
You know what I
don't
meant,
really need a
John.
Cord. It's just
You know what I meant.
He shot down the satellite.
All right, let's talk to the computers.
Let's talk to the computers.
Time for
Let's
me to
let
yell.
Josh yell at
Is
Adam
your computer
McClintock
broken?
on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Email Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Hey friends, Kent Pavelka here, back with John Higgins and the Rooferees at the Weather Guard showroom. The difference between your company and the ones that haven't been around very long, and what's the real value there?
We started the business in 85. That has to be worth something that you've been in the community for this long. If people are just out there to shop the price and not the service and the quality of what we do and the integrity of who we are, those people may not be for us. And that's okay.
The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Gary Sharp here for Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It is the original peanut butter whiskey. Now, you can celebrate this baseball season with Screwball. It's a little sweet, it's a little salty, and a little savory. You know what? It's unlike anything I've tasted before. It's the perfect celebration of the wild and wonderful in all of us. So to all the Screwballs out there, in honor of tomorrow's stories, let's raise our glass to you. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, available near you. Enjoy responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
You can join us every week for the Sharp and Betting podcast. It's Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by our good friends at Woodhouse Auto Family.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is we'll get more in depth on a lot of your favorite topics, have a guest or two, and just might drop some nuggets of information that you've never heard before.
Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by Woodhouse Auto Family each Friday. You can find it on the Sharp and Betting show page on 1620thezone.com. At Sharp and Betting, we got a podcast.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
402-205-4960. That's 402-205-4960. QC Kinetics. 402-205-4960.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Welcome back. Yesterday here on the program, we shared with you a graphic which was provided by the CFP professor, which is a projection, a probability prediction of what Nebraska's record will be in 2022. And for those watching in on the video stream, we've got the graphic up. But for those of you who are not, we can tell you that 17.8% chance of finishing 7-5, a 17.7% chance of 8-4. 14.8% chance of 9-3, and a 13.1% chance of finishing 6-6. If you add the totals together, basically it's a 73% chance of 7 wins or greater, and a 55% chance of 8 wins or greater, which threw Josh into a catatonic fit.
I wouldn't go that far.
All right. Well, he was asking questions, and so he said, you know what? Let's stop asking questions. Let's ask the guy whose computer it was that spit out this data, because he's the one that inputted the data.
Oh, yeah.
He is the CFB professor. You can follow him on Twitter at CFB professor. Adam McClintock joins us again on the program. Hello, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, guys. What's going on? Should I be bobbing and weaving coming on today? Or, I heard about which fan base hates the most fan base the most, and Josh is going to beat up my computer. And
yeah, what does your computer say about Floyd of Rosedale? Should they just scrap it? Apparently Iowa doesn't care.
Apparently not. From that poll I saw it. Apparently that's a made up rivalry.
So as I quoted, roughly 73% chance of 7 wins or greater, 55% chance of 8 wins or greater. We knew, at least I thought I knew that the computers were going to like Nebraska. But did these numbers even surprise you?
They did a little. I came up with this in March was the initial release. And I've been kind of updating it as the transfer portal was kind of churned throughout the year. And and changed returning production numbers and changed rosters a little bit. But for the most part, the projected record probabilities kind of stayed the same. And it was a little surprising to me at first when it turned that out. But then, about a month and a half later, Vegas came out with their number at 7.5. So, and if you look at the graphic, what are the two most likely records on that graphic? 7-5 and 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys in the desert, they're not stupid. They know a thing or two about setting lines. So that made me feel a little bit better about it. But yeah, it was a little shocking at first when I saw that at first.
Adam, in all seriousness, rather than throwing your computer in the trash, I'm curious as to where you think that comes from, both with you and I guess even with Vegas as well. Just kind of talking it out for a moment, I guess I'm kind of curious as to how all this works, because we know, of course, the issues that they have had at the top. Coaching, I know, is built into your rankings. That said, they have added a new offensive coordinator. They have kept the same defensive coordinator. And while last year they did lose a lot of games by only a score, so much of that production is gone, and now they're bringing in a lot of new players. So I wonder if you're kind of diving into it, what do you think is attributed to that type of confidence? And I mean, we haven't even mentioned how much of this is perhaps the schedule as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what Nebraska lost on the offensive side of the ball with Adrian Martinez leaving, and he's been the offense for the last 2 or 3 years, good or bad. But what the model sees is it sees the transfers coming in. It takes their production, what they did at their previous stop, and it adds that relative to Nebraska's scheme. So, for example, an 800-yard receiving receiver, okay, if he transfers to say Army,
mm-hmm.
his impact is not going to be as greatly felt at Army as it would be if he would transfer to Louisville or something.
Sure,
like that.
yeah.
So the yardage and the returning production that Nebraska got from the guys coming in was able to kind of offset that of what they lost, at least from the way the computer looks at it. So that kind of offset the losses there. The computer loves the new coaching staff that they brought in. Loves Mickey Joseph. Loves Coach Applewhite. Loves Bill Bush as a special teams coordinator. Loves that they have a special teams coordinator. That's a big thing. And although Raiola is a relatively unknown, he kind of the pedigree that he comes in with was well regarded. So those are kind of the reasons why it's so optimistic. And now, like you said, you get into the schedule and you rotate out Ohio State and Michigan State for Indiana and Rutgers, right? That's immediately going to make things look better in your immediate outlook there immediately, just by way of schedule change.
Adam McClintock joining us, CFB professor. We're quoting his numbers about Nebraska's win probabilities for this year. I know, you've worked with Dave Bartu, our good friend, for a long time, and we know Dave is a big coach effect guy, and I know that he's looked at coordinators. But you just quoted, Mickey Joseph and Brian Applewhite and Bill Bush. I mean, maybe this is getting way too deep down and nerdy, but how does one quantify what a Mickey Joseph can do in a numbers sense? How does that get plugged into your formula?
Oh, that's something new. That's something new within the last 2 years that Dave and I have worked on for the past 7 years, putting together a database since 2010 of every coach that's ever wore a headset, whether he was a running backs coach, whether he's a tight ends coach, it doesn't matter. We're able to go through and look at play by play how their units have performed throughout their career. Using that information, we're able to perform to put a grade to each coach. Okay. So that composite score of those 11 headsets, that gives you what's your coaching staff rating. Okay. That is how we're kind of able to squeeze that coach efficiency out of an entire staff relative to just limiting it to the head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator.
And we're looking, in fact, Adam was kind enough to provide us with his Big Ten summary this year. And on a scale of 0 to 100, Nebraska's on-field staff is at 65.3. Now, some people will look at that like we used to look at test scores and say, well, that's a D on
That's
a
a D,
10-point
yeah.
scale. But I mean, put that into perspective. 65 on a scale of 0 to 100. I mean, I'm assuming 50 is average. So Nebraska's got an above average coaching staff.
Yeah, actually, the national average is 60.8. That's national average.
Okay.
That comes in. That coaching staff comes in 6th in the Big Ten, which kind of people might kind of scoff at a little bit maybe, but taking into account that the Big Ten is far and away the best coach conference in the Power Five, and that kind of puts that in a better lens. Nebraska's in the top half of the best coach conference in the country with these coaching staff additions. So that's positive. All those things are positive. Now, what the computer can't do with numbers is it can't look at all these things and say, okay, these are all new elements that have to fit immediately. It misses the human element of it. So it's kind of looking at a best case scenario here. Okay, if these things all come together the way that these guys have performed in their career, and the guys coming in all mesh, and that returning production is similar to what they experienced other places of similar ilk, then this is what you're going to get. So keep those things in mind when looking at purely data-driven projections like this.
Okay.
Yeah, and Adam, kind of along those lines, at the bottom of the team sheet, if you will, for Nebraska, you have your 4-year model. And so it has your projections versus the actual record. And outside of 2020, in which you were spot on 3-5 for both, your model has basically been optimistic by 2 games every year, which, I mean, in all seriousness, that's like better than a lot of other people around here locally, which were being way too optimistic. Can you build something like that into future models where it's like, okay, this staff or this head coach or these players, whatever it is, for whatever reason, they've underachieved by about 2 games. Is that something that can be applied, or is that something that it just can't be captured?
Well, it's really tough to capture because, it's been for varying reasons, right? It's been, well, there's been one coaching staff could have had a rash of injuries. Okay. And that's why they underperformed 1 year. Or one coach could have had, didn't hire a special teams coach when they should have, and that lost them a few games. Or just things like that. There are a myriad of reasons why coaches go on a dry streak like that.
Yeah.
So something like that is really hard to capture quantitatively. I hate to bake things in like that, like handicaps almost, just because it kind of takes away from the pure numbers element of it, because you're inputting your own opinion, and it's no longer objective at that point.
Adam McClintock at CFB Professor on Twitter. On the team sheet, it shows 6 toss-up games this year for Nebraska. We know that last year Nebraska fell on the wrong side of the coin toss, if you will, more often than they won.
Well, literally in all of them.
Yeah. Is it possible that maybe the formula is compensating for the fact that Nebraska, because they didn't do so well in toss-up games last year, that they're going to work their way back towards the mean, thus maybe it will correct itself this year, and that also might be a reason why the formula is a little more positive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a toss-up game is by definition a 50-50 game or a toss-up game. It can go either way. And the model looks at a toss-up game as anything at, I think it's a 4.5-point game or less. So those games should split closer to 50-50 than they did last year for Nebraska. Last year for Nebraska was a historical anomaly, number speaking. I mean, things like that shouldn't happen, and yet it did. I know Nebraska fans are tired of hearing it. The best 3-9 team in the history of college football, but it's that's where it landed. And you're onto something there. It doesn't ever foresee a team losing all the toss-up games, in that fashion, or at least very often. At least it typically has at least 1 or 2 of them go your way. So
Adam, you know what I found interesting? We got sent to us last week some unauthorized lines, if you will, from a local book here, and the ones that have been released nationally by like FanDuel, those kind of matched up. Oh, within a point, maybe two at most. And so I feel like they're pretty solid lines. Your lines, though, very interesting for these games. I mean, it really starts with Northwestern, where on FanDuel that game is what, north of 10 points,
10 to 11,
and you have that at Nebraska minus 4.5, and that's kind of a consistent theme throughout a lot of your lines, being, when Nebraska's a favorite, a little less bullish, when they're an underdog, a little more bullish. What do you think that can be attributed to? And I guess we could maybe just focus even on the Northwestern game. Why do you think you view that as a shorter one versus how Vegas views that game right now?
That a lot of that has to do with just the neutral site game, it being the first game of the year, and the model loves Pat Fitzgerald. It loves him. His staff, it likes his staff a lot less. That Hankiewicz has been gone, but typically that it favors that staff in coaching matchups. So that could be a little bit of what is pulling the model a little bit more towards Northwestern. Now, I will say, this same thing happened last year. I vividly remember this for the Illinois game last year. Nebraska was a big favorite. I think it was they were a 10+ point favorite.
Yep. And
my model only had it as about a 5-point favorite. And I was like, what's wrong here? What's wrong here? Something's not right. But they went out and we all saw what happened. So it's I've gotten to the point where I don't really question a lot of what this says, because typically it's a lot more right than I am. So.
Sure.
Adam McClintock, his numbers are out, and if folks want to see more of the detailed stuff, like the stuff you sent us, how can they find you?
Yeah, that is that version isn't out quite yet on my Patreon. I'm trying to get it updated and out the first week of July. But you can find it on my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/CFB_professor.
All right.
Be looking for that, and he'll have everybody out here relatively soon as we're getting closer to the season. Adam, we appreciate it. Thanks. And
hey, no problem, guys.
And your computer's fine now. Josh won't spill any water.
No, I will not pour water or coffee into the computer. No worries.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Take care.
Hey, thanks, Adam.
Adam McClintock joining us at CFB Professor on Twitter. He's a good follow. Yeah, that was interesting that his lines are a little bit shorter than some of the lines that we've been quoted. Northwestern only 4.5 points. Oklahoma, I believe I last time I checked FanDuel, I think Oklahoma's up to a 5-point favorite now. It's only a 1.5 point favorite now.
Yeah, so basically like I said with the unauthorized lines, when Nebraska is a dog, the line is shorter.
Mm-hmm.
When Nebraska is a favorite, the line is also shorter. So
it's almost like Adam's tolerances are a lot tighter.
Yeah, bringing it a lot closer.
They're bringing the teams a lot closer.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. So, like you said, 6 games are toss-ups according to Adam. Northwestern, Oklahoma, Purdue, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So that leads only Michigan, Illinois in favor of Nebraska, by the way. Rutgers, same. Indiana, North Dakota, and Georgia Southern. So pretty interesting. I'm with him. Like, look, I think they're going to win a 1-score game. If they're going to have to, I cannot imagine the historical anomaly happens for the second straight year. In my opinion, right now, I think that's probably going to happen early. It probably could happen versus Northwestern. So I think they're going to be able to do that this year. But I also think that they will lose a game by a couple of scores as well. Like the craziness of last year, in my opinion, will not be replicable. They will win a couple of 1-score games, and they'll probably lose a couple of games by 14 points. 14
probably
points.
Fair.
Yeah. Again, I just don't think that last year they lost 8 games by a score, and the other was by 9 points. That something like that isn't going to happen again this year.
It is rather strange.
But like you said, there's some stuff that you just cannot build in. You cannot build it in. I did find it interesting as we brought it up. His model, it was spot on in 2020, 3-5. But it was 2 games better in 18, 19, and 21. But seriously, that is a lot better than a lot of us were. In 2018, I don't remember anybody really saying 6-6. We were hearing 7-5, 8-4. The next year, when they went 5-7, dude, people were saying, 9 wins, 10 wins. So I was probably off by 4 or 5 wins that year. Last year, I remember seeing a lot of 7 and 5s and 8 and 4. So even though I think his model it's definitely more optimistic than I am, he has maybe been more pessimistic his computers have than most people have over the last 4 years.
Well, and remember, some of those Vegas lines from even the late Mike Riley years were like, really? It's only that many?
Yep.
And people would hammer the over.
Yeah.
And then it turned out, because Nebraska has hit the under every year since 2019 or 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the Vegas line was, the under has hit
Yeah.
since 2017 on.
Yeah. So 5 years in a row, it's hit the under.
And yet this year, it's back up to 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So, and let's face it, as much as we quote unquote hammer the computers, Vegas is the same way. It's not like FanDuel is this one lone book that's got, a bullish Nebraska line.
Mm-hmm.
They all do.
Yeah.
They're all sitting at 7.5.
One quick thing I would add on that is they're not trying to get the right number. They're trying to get money.
Right. That's true.
So
it's a different purpose. But they're kind of basing a lot of their stuff off the same information.
Exactly. So it's not to say that the numbers don't matter. It does matter, but they're trying to get money. And so I do wonder, you're dealing with the psyche of a sports fan. So you have a sports fan, and they see that they're a diehard Nebraska fan. And let's say they're more optimistic than you and I have been. But they're not, they're not super duper pessimistic, but they're still like, what's going on with this program? They see 7.5 and they're better. Do they say, wow, what am I missing? And kind of almost blindly bet the over because it's kind of daring them to? Or does that make them even more staunch and say, I'm going to bet the under because look, it's going to pay positive money. And so that's, I think, is fascinating because it's not just about finding that perfect win and loss number. It's about trying to get money, and it's maybe about playing with the psyche and mental fortitude that certain fans are going to have. It's really, really interesting. I would love to know out of this state how people are betting Nebraska. A non-Husker fan, how are they betting Nebraska? Are they saying this is free money? Give me the under, or are they saying something
the lines
too?
Have not moved.
They have not. They've been
the
sitting
totals
here.
have stabilized, and the juice on both sides is basically the same as it was the day the numbers came out.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a lot of action on Nebraska right now.
Yeah.
And maybe that's another thing. Maybe
Or
there's
if
a
there
lot.
is, it's just equal.
Maybe
on both.
yeah. Or maybe there's a lot of people just saying, I'm going to stay away from that one.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not getting a lot of action on it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Coming up, more numbers, but this time I wanted to look inside the differences between a Mark Whipple offense and a Scott Frost offense, and if it means anything for this year for Nebraska.
Okay.
It's our 100 days.
Let's go
to college football. 2-time Grammy nominee and 24-time Billboard chart topper blues guitarist Joe Bonamassa.
Whoa.
He's coming to the Orpheum on August the 5th. Listen to Sharp and Benning in the morning for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. More details at 1620thezone.com.
The Connor Happer Show.
All right, so yesterday I'm at the store. We're almost out of ketchup. I don't hardly ever buy ketchup. So I go to the aisle. I come back with the store brand ketchup. It was 99 cents, and she said, no, that's no good. You can't get that stuff.
No, you don't go cheap on your ketchup.
But man, where are you going to find anything for 99 cents nowadays? I was kind of jacked about the purchase. And I didn't know what I'm looking at, because I'm not a ketchup guy. But she's like, that's not the stuff.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny, breezy, and hot into this evening with the temperatures in the 90s. Mostly clear. It stays really warm tonight. Lows in the low 70s. Still hot. A few more clouds on Thursday. Highs in the mid-90s again with maybe some storms coming in Thursday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
There are actually two kinds of cigars. The first is the one you smoke with beloved family and friends. The second, the one you enjoy with friends you've just met. And you'll find both at Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge. At Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, there's a well-stocked humidor with some of the best bands from around the world and a bar with your favorite cocktails and other drinkables. So what do you say? Which cigar will you be enjoying tonight? Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 and 48th Street next to Cubby's.
Businesses all across eastern Nebraska and western Iowa have trusted Host Coffee for their coffee, water, and vending needs. Give your business the whole host of options. Host Coffee, serving you since 72.
Before putting something in your body or in your mouth like Kratom or CBD, wouldn't you want to know a little something about these products? At 42 Degrees, we take pride in giving our staff all the training they need on CBD and Kratom and only carry lab-certified quality products. So if you're suffering from sore joints, discomfort from an old sports injury, or other ailments, stop by any 42 Degree location. Hear what Kratom and CBD can do for you. 42 Degrees, by your mom's house.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Sharp. When you want to go local to an event, sit in the front row, you want to go national and have the best seats, where do you go? I go to ticketsforless.com. They always have the best selection with the best prices. You can score great deals online at ticketsforless.com and no service fees at checkout. You want to go to the College World Series. You want to go to Lincoln to a football game. You want to go to an away football game. You want to go to the Orpheum. You want to go to Arrowhead to see the Chiefs play. Ticketsforless.com has your seats. Score great deals today. It's easy, it's fast, and no service fees at checkout. Ticketsforless.com.
Summer is here, and so is the heat. Our greenhouse and nursery sales area are always open and stocked all season long. You can relax knowing when you want it, we've got it. So visit us today. Lanahan Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas.
Call 800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Not to mention top tech to help keep you connected. Plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. With a hybrid or electric vehicle built for every driver. Seriously, dear gas prices? Do you really think you can stand in our way? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
It kind of jacks me up. I say that.
On 1620, The Zone.
Can you feel the excitement? The long, arduous summer is almost done. The temperatures, once hot and humid, finally cooling down. Fall is here. Why, you ask? Why do seasons change? Why does the sun set earlier after June 21st? Well, that's how the world works, you say. We're in the Milky Way, after all. It's a bunch of science-y stuff, obviously. But you're wrong. Those things don't happen because of science. They happen because we're 100 days from college football. The countdown is on. Will the SEC get 2 teams into the playoffs again? What does Jim Harbaugh do for an encore? And will Nebraska go without any, thus meeting the all-important mystery metrics, at least according to our sources? It's time. It's here. It's 100 days until college football.
So today's subject was inspired by something as I was driving in for one of the many days of the College World Series. I was tuning in to Damon and Gary, and they're having a conversation about running backs and number of carries, and I believe Damon said something to the effect of, we can get somebody 20 carries a game, can't we? Is that asking a whole lot? Because that's, finding that El Cal running back has been a question
ever since Amir left, really.
the last few years.
So did you swerve off the road in that moment?
No.
Flip.
Because if you think about it, does 20 carries a game sound like a lot?
Yes. It just sounds like, yes, 20 sounds like a lot.
I'm just saying in general. I'm not talking Nebraska.
Yes.
That does not.
In the new age of college football.
In the new crappy, bad age of college
football. Oh, boo.
No, I do think that's a generational thing.
Yes.
You know, I can think of, of course, Mike Rozier is going to get 25 carries a game.
Mm-hmm.
20 is on the low side.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Unless he ripped off like 5 or 6 50-yard runs and, the game was out of hand, then maybe he only got 19.
Yeah.
But.
Like real quick, for example, Derrick Henry, 2019. This is the NFL, I know.
That's the NFL.
2019, he rushed for 1,500.
Not for long if you keep.
People forget about that. He rushed for 1,540 yards, 16 touchdowns. He did so on 303 carries in 15 games, basically 20 a game. And that's Derrick Henry. So
that's the NFL.
But it's Derrick Henry.
And Nebraska's been a run-heavier team. Right?
They have been, which leads us into today's discussion.
So anyway, as Damon and Gary were kind of talking it out, and it got my head, thinking. I wanted to do a side-by-side because I wanted to see, in terms of the usage of players, how the skill position players are used in the two respective offenses.
Yes.
How does it differ? Now, we all know right off the jump, a Mark Whipple offense does not run the quarterback as much as Nebraska's run the quarterback the last 3 years.
Correct.
I mean, that's the easiest thing that we can all decipher.
Do you have those numbers? Because I have some of those numbers too.
Well, we've got,
okay, good.
So if you're following along on the stream, and I'm going to tweet these out momentarily. But here's just a side-by-side comparison. And I went with 3 years because Whipple was at Pitt for 3 years.
I think that's fair.
And so I'm going back to 2019, 2020, and 2021, Nebraska. Now, the similarities are that both teams had the same starting quarterback for all 3 years, for the most part. I mean, I know Adrian had a couple of injuries, but Kenny Pickett was the starter at Pitt the last 3 years, and Adrian Martinez was the starter at Nebraska.
So that's nice because you got consistency at quarterback.
There's a little consistency there. But as you see, the numbers are rather interesting. And the first thing that stood out to me when I looked at this chart, and by the way, I'm charting plays per game, total yards, rushing attempts per game, passing attempts per game, yards per play, points per game, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
First thing that stood out to me.
Let me guess. Oh, okay.
I circled it.
That was also what stood out to me first.
If I would have told you yesterday, or if I would ask the question yesterday, whose offense averaged more plays per game the last 3 years?
I'm guessing a lot of people would have said Nebraska, right?
No, and it's not even close. Mark Whipple's offense has averaged 4 more plays per game than Nebraska, which is a pretty significant difference. 4 more plays per game than Nebraska, 74.6 to 70.7. In fact, Nebraska's high season of the last 3, 2019, is still lower than Whipple's low season,
which was also 2019. Interesting. How about Nebraska averaging 69 plays per game last year, by the way?
They did average 69 plays per game. Now, if you do notice,
69.
If you notice, yards per play were much better last year. Nebraska was a top 20 team in the country in yards per play.
They were way more efficient last season.
Yes.
Way more efficient.
6.4 yards per play. Whipple's offense was 6.3 yards per play. But that was the first thing that stood out.
It's a good place to start.
I would have thought, I would have thought Frost's offense, if you would have told me the gap was going to be 4 more plays per game, I would have said, that's on Frost's side, not on Whipple's side. So that was the first thing that I noticed.
Okay. Second thing. Okay, good. I'm happy that the second thing you noticed was the second thing that I noticed as well. And that was, I guess, 2 things, right? Running attempts per game and passing attempts per game.
Yes. And this is,
one tells the story of the other, so it makes sense.
So Nebraska in the last 3 years has averaged just under 43 rushing attempts per game. Mark Whipple's offense has averaged 35 and a half rushing attempts per game. So
7
Nebraska
fewer rushes.
Is running at 7. A Frost offense ran at 7 more times than a Whipple offense.
7 more times.
And this kind of goes back to something that Richard Torres said in an interview with Steve Sipple.
Yes, it does. I was going to bring that up next.
Please bring that up.
Richard Torres. So Sipple, he mentioned this actually last weekend as well when he was on with me down at the College World Series. But he had a chance to talk to Richard Torres, and we discussed it a little bit too. And basically Torres said, kind of like offhandedly, like, yeah, he's a pass first OC. I'm trying to find the exact quote. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Here it is. He's a pass first guy. I feel like I have a real strong arm and I'm pretty accurate. I just need to get the offense down. So my theory, my question for Sipple was, did Torres accidentally spill the beans given he's such a young quarterback and he didn't mean to do so? And Sip was like, well, you got to be careful here. And then he didn't want to parse a quote from such a young player, and that's fine. But I mean, the stats do say that Whipple is a pass first quarterback. So I do wonder, again, going off of these numbers and what Torres said, did he maybe give the game away just a little bit? Just a little bit. Sipple did add yesterday in his column or Monday, whenever this was. Pass first offense, we'll see on that. Nebraska has a promising group of running backs, and the run game was strong all spring. Stay tuned.
Keep in mind, and we've shared these numbers in the past, every Mark Whipple offense in college football, whether it's at UMass when he was the head coach, whether it's Pitt, every Mark Whipple offense has passed it more than they've run it. Every single one.
Yes.
Every single one.
Whereas every offense under Nebraska has been a heavy run pass. The lowest run pass ratio in the Scott Frost era was actually year one. 53.5% run, 46.5% pass. Otherwise, it's 63-37, it's 59-41, and last year 59-41 again.
Next thing I observed on this front page.
Ha!
It's not about yards, ma'am. It's about points.
Bo Pelini.
Mark Whipple's offenses the last 3 years have averaged just a shade under 31 points a game.
And a lot of that's bumped up, of course, because of last year. They averaged 41.5 points per game.
Nebraska is averaging 26.8 points per game.
And they finally bounced back because they were 28, then 23, and then back to 28 again.
Now, I'm not saying that this is the sole reason. In fact, I'm fairly confident it's not the sole reason, but it does make some sense. Looking at last year, Pitt went from 29 points per game in 2020 to 41 points. I mean, a huge jump.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska made a modest jump, but from 23 to 28. Last year, Pitt had a +4 turnover margin. Nebraska was -5. And you wonder if that difference in turnovers is at least it's part of the differential there. Obviously, Kenny Pickett had a monster year.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison had a monster year.
They finished drives.
And they won the ACC. But
Nebraska missed kicks. They turned the ball over.
They did turn
There's
the ball over.
There's a lot of ways to explain it. But yeah, also Pitt had an all-conference, Bolitnikoff winner and a quarterback that got picked in the, NFL draft. Nebraska did not. They had a really good center, though.
All right, so that's the front. That's the first page. By the way, I've just shared these screenshots.
Good.
Over on Twitter, at JTech Construction's own Twitter feed, at USC1620. You can look at them at your leisure. But when we come back, how did Nebraska under Scott Frost utilize its skill position players? And how did Mark Whipple's skill position players get utilized and the differences therein? And there's a couple of interesting ones in there beyond just, we know the quarterback didn't run as much.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to the question that Damon asked, well, can't we get a guy 20 carries a game?
We'll answer that question.
We'll see if Mark Whipple got that guy 20 carries a game when we continue. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. But first, a word from my friends at McCarthy's 1 Hour. You don't own them anything if they're not on time. It has been their phrase, their slogan for 50 years. Always on time or you don't pay a dime. And right now, you can get yourself an AC maintenance plan scheduled today. The weather, hot today, back into the 90s. Going to be in the 90s through the week. Going to be in the 90s most of the summer. You're going to need your AC. When's the last time you had your AC checked? Well, if it's been a while, McCarthy's has a great deal for you because for only $79, you can get up to a 77-point inspection of your AC, plus a furnace tune-up and safety inspection at no additional cost. You'll have peace of mind knowing that your AC is going to work for you throughout the summer. And if you do need any repairs, there's a breakdown guarantee on any repairs made. So call McCarthy's today, 855-1-HOUR, or go to McCarthy's1hour.com. Get the $79 AC tune-up today and stay cool this summer with McCarthy's. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. McCarthy's1hour.com.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
Jake and Christine knew they needed help renovating their dream home. As a Pella advisor, I make sure every step of getting new windows and doors is smooth, including setting you up with our Pella Care Guarantee. It covers everything from product to installation with some of the strongest warranties in the industry.
Get more with Pella. Let us personalize an offer just for you. Visit PellaOmaha.com/radio for more details.
Damon Benning here for Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, the original peanut butter whiskey. Celebrate this baseball season with Screwball. A little sweet, a little salty, a little savory. It's unlike anything you've tasted before. It's the perfect celebration of the wild and wonderful in all of us. So to all you Screwballs out there, in honor of tomorrow's stories, let's raise a glass to you. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, available near you. Enjoy responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Hi, guys. It's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
Okay, team, it's summer. Your training all comes down to this. Checklist. Emma, sunscreen? Check. Alex, shades? Yep, set. Baby Zoe, diaper bag? We're just gonna call that a yes. Are you ready for Funplex? Check. Well, out to the minivan. But we can't drive. Let's find Mom. And then go to the minivan. Yay!
It's all for fun and fun for all at Funplex, 70th and Q, dude. Get your tickets now at fun-plex.com.
Now that my Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi reaches all over my home, I can finally stream my history shows in my room. And play my games in the den. And of course, blast my jams all over. Mom! Sorry! Those flutists can get pretty rowdy.
Stream throughout your home with Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed in certain cases. Panoramic Wi-Fi pods sold separately may be required for extended coverage. Restrictions apply.
You can join us every week for the Sharp and Benning podcast. It's Sharp and Benning. We got a podcast driven by our good friends at Woodhouse Auto Family.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is we'll get more in depth on a lot of your favorite topics, have a guest or two, and just might drop some nuggets of information that you've never heard before.
Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for Sharp and Benning. We got a podcast driven by Woodhouse Auto Family each Friday. You can find it on the Sharp and Benning show page on 1620thezone.com. It's Sharp and Benning. We got a podcast.
Bellino Fireworks, a Metro tradition for more than 35 years. Bellino Fireworks is the home of the original buy one, get three free sales special. Bellino Fireworks offers better quality products at a better price than anyone in the Midwest. More than 50 locations in the Omaha Council Bluffs area. There's no need to go anywhere else. Look for their signature inflatables or Bellino flags. Bellino Fireworks, the original buy one, get three free sales special. Visit BellinoFireworks.com for a full list of locations.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people.
First, home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
So we're taking a look at Frost and Whipple the last 3 years. And here's the real crux of what I was looking for, and that is the utilization of the skill possession players in each of these respective offenses. And we're only looking at the last 3 years. It just so happens that that's when Whipple was at Pitt. He had the same quarterback. Scott Frost had the same quarterback.
Yep.
And somewhat comparable in terms of the numbers there. So as we move to page 2, here's just a 1-year example. This is last year.
Okay.
We'll look at the 3-year averages in just a moment, but this is last year. And I studied the top 3 running backs in terms of the number of carries they got, the top 3 receivers in terms of the number of receptions they got, tight ends, top 2 tight ends, top receiving running back. So that's the side by side, and obviously the quarterback in terms of rushing attempts.
Sure.
And
which is going to tell quite the story.
And as you can see, if you're following along, again, we're showing these. If you're not, you can see them on our Twitter account at USC1620. Last year, Nebraska's top running back, Ramir Johnson, got 23% of Nebraska's total carries. Nebraska had almost 500 carries last year. So less than a quarter of those carries went to Ramir Johnson.
And 112, if you just do a quick 112 divided by 12, that is 9.3 carries per game.
Right. Adrian Martinez had the most carries. He had 133.
Mm-hmm.
So he accounted for 27% of the carries. He also accounted for 24% of the rushing offense. And obviously, when you look on the side-by-side, Kenny Pickett, and remember, in college football, sacks are on the rushing totals.
Yeah. So it explains why each guy had more carries than they did, more percentage of carries than they did more percentage of yards.
But one of the things that kind of stood out, at least looking at last year, Jordan Addison had a great year, Biletnikoff and all that other stuff.
Yep.
He accounted for 27% with 100 catches last year, which in college football is a lot.
Yes, it is.
That's still only 27% of the total receptions.
So basically a quarter
that Pitt had last year. Samori Toure was Nebraska's top receiver.
Yeah.
46 carries. That was 21% of Nebraska's total receptions went to one guy.
Yeah. And both guys did good stuff with the ball when they had it because Toure, 21% of all catches, but 28% of all receiving yards. For Addison, 27% and 34% respectively.
Now, if you're looking for, again, and the main reason I started looking at this, with the first question I had in my head was, what about running backs? I mean, if you look at the utilization of the running backs, this is, again, by percentage of total carries, the total number of rushing attempts in the offense. Nebraska's top 3 running backs went Ramir 23%, Yant 10%, Step 9%. Wow. Again, a lot of those carries got siphoned off by your quarterback.
Yes, they did.
But look at Pitt.
Well, this is the thing, real quick. Pitt, remember, threw the ball more than they rushed the ball.
Correct.
And yet, their top 3 guys all had more than 100 carries. And Pickett was close behind with 97.
The top 3 running backs at Pitt last year went 27%, 23%, and 19% of the carries, respectively. So they were fairly evenly dispersed.
And that, again, going back to the original question that got your gears going, the original question is,
can you find a bell cow? Can you get a 20-carry guy? That was Damon's question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even Pitt's offense. Now, again, this was just 1 year. I looked at 3 others. Now it's time to look at the 3-year averages. So these are the 3-year averages for both coaches at their respective schools, how much their running backs, quarterbacks, receivers, and tight ends got used a year ago. And naturally, again, the first thing that stands out is how the quarterback was used. We knew this was going to be the case going in.
Yeah, Nebraska's quarterback, led the team in carries in the last three. The quarterback carries were more combined than any of the running back carries in each of the last.
Correct.
Obviously, 2 years ago.
And keep in mind, these numbers are. I'm just looking at Adrian Martinez. I'm not even looking.
Oh, this doesn't even count McCaffrey?
Yeah, because I'm only looking at the first string.
Oh, you're right.
I'm only looking at the first string.
So you
quarterback.
could jack that number up even higher if you're looking at total quarterback carries. Yeah, good point.
So that's obviously the first thing that stands out.
Definitely.
We know that Nebraska's not going to run its quarterback like they have run its quarterback in the past. We know this. That if there's anything we know about how this offense is going to look, it will be that.
Yeah.
That will be the first thing that we know. But look at the running backs. Look at especially the top two running backs. Pitt's RB1, their lead running back, has averaged over the last 3 years 31% of all of Pitt's offensive carries.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska's RB1 has averaged only 25%. And RB2, the second leading running back, 18% of the carries over the last 3 years at Pitt. At Nebraska, only 13. Again, a lot of this siphoned off by your quarterbacks.
Sure.
But even with Pitt, the bell cow, they have not had one. Now, that's a product of a lot of things. Maybe just like at Nebraska.
Just haven't had that dude.
They just haven't been able to find that dude. Or maybe that's just not the way they want to play the game. Remember, when Frost first got here, there wasn't this idea of finding Amir Abdullah and just giving him the ball every play.
We thought it'd be divided up amongst a bunch of
We thought it would.
Because that's kind of what it's been.
But we started to talk in the last 2 years about, Nebraska needs to, find that guy. They just need to find that guy and ride that horse.
Well, I think the issue for Nebraska really kind of became, can they just find a good back?
Mm-hmm.
Not even the bell cow wasn't even the operative word in my opinion. It was more just like finding someone that they could trust to run the football out of the backfield.
Now, John,
what
has been one of the chief cries from the Nebraska fan base the last few years when it comes to its
win?
Besides that, when it comes to its passing game.
Oh, involve the tight end more.
Involve the tight end. Take a gander at this.
Consider a gander taken.
Notice the comparison between Whipple's usage of the tight end. And remember the first day when he was dropping all those names at the press conference, he was talking about, hey, we throw to the tight end. We're going to throw to the tight end. Nebraska used its tight ends more than Mark Whipple did in the last 3 years. Tight end 1. Last year was Austin Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You had Jack Stoll a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska's number 1 tight end accounted for 14% of all pass receptions. At Pitt, their top 2 tight ends didn't equal 14%.
No, they equaled 11%.
When I saw that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, Nebraska's top 2 tens on average last 3 years combined for 19% of all receptions, 19% of all yards. And for Pitt, it was 11% and 9%. 11% of all catches, 9% of all yards.
Now, again, it could be a situation where, we
Nebraska
just
had better
dudes.
tight ends.
We had better dudes.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to somebody else, it does kind of stand out that, hey, maybe Nebraska wasn't so bad after all.
That's the thing. Just given the nature of our discussions with the tight end, this doesn't fly in the face of that, but it says, wow, if we were having those discussions, were Pitt fans even more annoyed at the lack of tight end use over the last few years? Also, the other thing, too, and we keep talking about Jordan Addison, and this is, again, an average, but over the last few years, Pitt's wide receiver 1 has accounted for the 27% of all catches and 27% of all yards. Nebraska, it's actually a higher percentage yardage-wise and only a tick below receptions, 26% receptions and 31% of all yards.
And if you go back, I've got the full breakdown. Nebraska's top receivers the last 3 years in terms of catches. Last year, of course, was Samari.
Mm-hmm.
2020, it was Wandale.
2019, it was J.D. Spielman.
And 2019, it was J.D. Spielman. The Wandale year was really interesting, and I know COVID year, et cetera, but Wandale accounted for 33% of all pass catches in 2020. Only one other player was in double figures in percentages, and that was Austin Allen. That was a pretty thin year at wide receiver.
The numbers offensively for that season were trash.
Yes,
they averaged like 3 touchdowns a game.
So some of the numbers can get skewed just a little bit, but on average, Nebraska JD accounted for a quarter of the pass receptions his year. Samari was 21% last year.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at the final totals here,
yeah,
and in terms of player usage. Yeah, we know the quarterback will be used differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you're looking for a bell cow, I don't know if we're going to have one.
Yeah, my follow-up that I almost want to get to next, by the way, Schaefer's going to join us a little bit later today at 4:15. Like, the thing that I kind of want to unpack a little bit is, like, what should the takeaways be? And maybe it's a fool's errand because personnel's changing. Things are going to be different.
Personnel's changing, and this is a new partnership.
See,
it's a new partnership.
Yeah.
But even if there's some blending going on, in terms of the distribution of who's getting what, where, and when, I don't know if it's going to change a whole lot. I don't know if it's going to change a whole lot. What I will be curious to see is, will there be more plays? Because to me, that's one of the biggest differences between the Frost offense and the Whipple offense. The Whipple offense ran more plays.
Mm-hmm.
And the Whipple offense threw the ball more.
They definitely threw the ball more, man. You had those numbers earlier. The run pass breakdown. Again, here's Nebraska over the last few years: 54% run, 46% pass, 63-37, 59-41, 59-41. Whereas you flip it for the Whipple offenses: 54 pass, 46 run.
Whipple's offense is over the last 3 years have passed it 11 more times per game than Nebraska's, and they've run it 7 times fewer.
Yeah. And look, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all if they pass the ball more. I think, look, I have thought for a while that this discussion about the backs and maybe being more of a running offense, I'll be honest, I just don't buy it. Partly because of the history of Mark Whipple, but also because of if my concerns are founded with the offensive line, then I think they're going to have to throw the ball around more.
So there it is, a breakdown of some of the numbers. Again, if you want to look at them in more detail or closer, you can do so by going to our Twitter feed. I posted those at USC 1620, our JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Shafe will join us in about 25 minutes or so we'll come back and have more of Unsportsmanlike Conduct next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center, heads up, a crash has the 2 right lanes blocked on southbound 480 at Harney Street. It's got traffic stopped all the way back from Dodge, so you're going to want to stay off of the southbound 480 until at least Martha. Also getting reports that traffic is stopped on the southbound North Freeway between Hamilton and 480, and then slow going on westbound Dodge between 680 and 108th. Delays on westbound Maple between 108th and 120th, and slow going on the southbound JFK between Q and Childs. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Everyone knows Saul's pays top dollar for your gold, but Saul's pays cash on the spot for your precious metals too. Silver, gold, platinum, coins, bars. Who wants to wait to get paid? Get to Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Saul's Jewelry and Loan. You'll find it all at Saul's Jewelry.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Not to mention top tech to help keep you connected. Plush, premium interiors, and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. With a hybrid or electric vehicle built for every driver. Seriously, dear gas prices? Do you really think you could stand in our way? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
If you suffer from joint pain, from arthritis and injury, you know the traditional treatments, pain meds, and steroids, then surgery, right? Yeah. Hey, it's Damon Benning with great news. Now there's a better way, and it's here now. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This is an advanced, exciting, and natural alternative that can give you long-lasting relief using your body's own healing power. Listen, steroid shots are toxic to your body's joints. Pain meds are addictive, and nobody wants to go under the knife. It's 2022, and those old ways are out, and the new ways are in. Regenerative medicine can restore and repair damaged joint tissue using natural biologics. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. QC Kinetics regenerative protocols can address any pain and any joint and give you the quality of life you deserve. Call now and schedule your free consultation. 402-205-4960. That's 402-205-4960.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
What makes you smile? How about using your home equity to make those home improvements you've always wanted? Get a fixed rate on a home equity loan and line of credit for as low as 2.99% APR for 60 months. Rates are going up. Lock in now. Apply online at metrofcu.org. Making your home happier? It's what makes you smile. Metro Credit Union, your local advantage. Visit us online or call 800-301-8549 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured through NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Some reaction to our conversation. Again, Mike Schaefer will join us in about 20 minutes. Bart says, I thought they did a great job utilizing Wandale last year. Oops, scratch that. We did a great job utilizing Michigan State's punt return and Iowa's punt blocker. The positive boys.
Oh,
Wow,
come on, Bart.
The positive boys. Joel says, I'm not worried about scheme or run-pass ratio as I am about an offense that can consistently put drives together. Last year, it was so feast or famine. It seemed like they either marched down the field or went 3 and out.
Yeah, along those lines, Aaron says, this shows me on base level, and this is in response to the first graphic we had, is that Nebraska didn't know what the hell they were doing inside the 20 combined with a poop kicking game.
Yes.
And then he adds what we thought seems to be reality. Yeah, that's definitely a great takeaway from the first one. And that's really been a good takeaway in a lot of the Scott Frost years so far. Maybe not so much 2020 because the offense was just so horrific. But I remember that first year. You know, we had Adam McClintock on earlier. You mentioned with him Dave Bartu. I remember having a conversation with Dave off the air, just kind of figure out what is going on with these types of teams like Nebraska that can have such, high performance in just moving the ball, but really struggle in the red zone. And that team, I'll pull up the numbers real fast. If I remember right, that was a top 25 total offense team, but scoring, they were so bad in 2018. Yeah, sure enough, they were 25th on the dot, John, in 2018 in terms of yards per game, 456.2. But points per game, they were all the way down at 58. So they were, upper quarter in moving the ball, but they were middle of the pack in scoring. And that's been a problem. And so, we look for things that Mark Whipple can do that can help Nebraska, that can make Nebraska better. you almost want to kind of start the conversation maybe with the red zone scoring. And can Nebraska find some of that, red zone scoring that they have just been unable to find for whatever reason, in recent seasons?
402-951-1620. You can also text that same number or do as Jake did. He actually wants to have a conversation.
Oh, look at you. How happy are you?
I'm very happy. Hello, Jake.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, guys. Hey, so I'll start it off with a comment. I was just going to say, maybe it's just a Nebraska thing. Probably not, but it's just funny how it seems like we talk about like how things have to look or how things are distributed. Because I'm like, if they start off 5-1, are we really going to care about run pass ratio or
no, of course not.
Who's getting the touches or targets or anything like that?
Nope, you're right.
Hey, and maybe this is a question too, but even more than distribution of touches and targets and everything, do we know, or is there a website or something that we know, kind of like personnel groupings that Whipple used at Pittsburgh, or even what Nebraska used, over the last couple of years, whether they were running like 11 or 12 personnel or?
No, I mean, Jake, there's definitely a site like that out there. I don't know, I can't direct you to it, but there has to be a site like that, or at least ones that do it for individual programs, like a Nebraska writer, a Michigan. Like there's some Michigan writers especially that are really, really good at doing X's and O's breakdown. So that stuff probably exists, but in a nice, neat formula, that you can go to a website, probably harder to find.
Yeah. And I guess I'll leave on this. Do we know anything about, like, with Raiola coming in as the O-line coach and again Whipple being the offensive coordinator, and I don't know if it's been said whether he's going to be the actual play caller.
He is, yeah.
But okay, so in terms of like running schemes, is Nebraska wanting to get more to like a wide zone, like a zone scheme, or because it seems like in the past he's used a lot of like the power or the gap schemes, whether that's like pulling tight ends or using a fullback or God knows what.
Good question, because we didn't really get a good look at them, and
From
the
how
other
they're
question,
describing them, I think that they're going to be less zone and more man.
right? But thanks for the call, Jake.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. Good questions.
As we were pointed out a few weeks ago, when Mitch Sherman joined us, and Mitch is going to be back with us on Friday, by the way. One of the things he mentioned was, Scott Frost is still talking about wanting to have control of or be the run game coordinator while Whipple is coordinating the pass game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We don't know exactly how that run game is going to look. Will it continue to look like and use the same schemes as last year with different personnel, or will it be something different? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and will it be something more akin to what? And I need to again watch more of Pitt, but I'm not 100% sure what it is they were utilizing more of than other. So the answer to that is we don't know, and that's part of the reason why they kept things pretty under the vest during spring ball. They want everyone guessing, which is fine. I mean, that's their prerogative.
Speaking of Whipple at Pitt, another response and then a question from a listener. And then I do have some red zone numbers for you too, by the way. Daniel, Amazing Daniel says, I watched a lot of Pitt last year in anticipation of the Steelers drafting Pickett. My favorite thing was that Whipple seemed to call the game to his players, not force his players to his game plan, and he didn't panic, stuck with what was working. It's a really good offense. So, and then this is me now. It's a really good offense. They put
last year
put
up
yards, put up points. Jordan Addison was really good. Kenny Pickett was really good. He ended up getting drafted. I guess the quick question that I would have would be, does Nebraska A, have a quarterback of that caliber, and B, have a skill position player or two of that caliber?
Right.
This isn't me disagreeing with Daniel, but I would say it's a lot easier to call a game that way when you have all Americans.
You know what the other thing too is? New league.
I was going to say, man, we haven't mentioned that once.
It's a new league.
ACC versus Big Ten.
And this is not to say that Pitt didn't deserve what they got, but Clemson was on an off year.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State's been off. Louisville's been off. The teams that have been the lead pack teams in the ACC last year did not have good years by their standards, and by a lot of people's standards. And, are things going to have to change Just like Scott Frost has had the cold dousing of ice bath water by joining the Big Ten Conference. You know,
I mean, the positive for Whipple.
There's going to be an adjustment for Whipple too, and I know he's been to a lot more places.
And he's been in the NFL. It's not like they're not physical in the NFL,
right? But it is different.
The physical boys.
But it is different. There's always an adjustment period. There's always an adjustment period.
Brad asks, so did Whipple just come to Nebraska for a money grab? I mean, I'm less impressed by the day. These stats are really disappointing. Look,
I don't know if I would necessarily. I mean, I guess define why would they be disappointing? Are they disappointing because you want a bell cow running back?
I think I have an answer for you on that. I think that the way Whipple is discussed, you would think his offenses are annually top 15 offense.
No, they're not.
I think that's why Brad might be disappointed. Just if you're listening, and you're not always you're not looking at every single piece of info, and you're catching conversations. Whipple is often described because of his age and his experience level. You would almost think he is like a top 15 to 25 offense all the time, and it's not. It's not.
No.
So I wonder if that's what Brad meant. The stats.
Yeah, you see that's very interesting. But I would look at it, if you want me to be a positive boy.
The positive boy. The positive boy. The positive boy.
The positive boy. Maybe look at it more of, okay, this is not Mike Martz and the greatest show on turf.
But no, I want that. You don't want the greatest show on turf?
Well, everyone wants the greatest show on turf, but it's not
the greatest show on turf.
It's never been that way.
It was in 99.
But Whipple might just be more stable and solid.
The stable boy.
And let's face it, Nebraska's been anything but stable and solid. Maybe that's what Nebraska needs right now, is something that's a little bit more, we're not going to be super flashy. We're just going to get the job done. Last time I checked, a lot of people around Nebraska like things that way. They don't like a lot of flash. Just give me.
I don't know anything about fancy cars or restaurants.
But the problem is nowadays, when it comes to offense, everything's about flash and dash, right? It's about the big skill players and doing all the exciting things.
I know what you mean, but like that's because that's how you score. You know, like
you can score by being solid and stable.
But
Absolutely,
it's solid
you
and
can.
stable.
They averaged 40 points last year by being solid and stable.
Stable genius.
I would say nice. I would say that they were pretty flat. I mean, they had like the Biletnikoff winner at wide receiver.
You can win a Biletnikoff without being.
Their quarterback faked a slide. Like that's pretty flashy. I'm just saying, like, John, they weren't like 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
I'm not. No, see, that's the problem. The problem is, I think what we're expecting a lot of like innovation and all this stuff, and people are going to be like, "Man, my head's spinning because of all this stuff." Sometimes just running a good play is being better at running that play. It's not so much about the play design; it's about how it's coached and how you execute it.
Mm-hmm.
I think nowadays people get so wrapped up in we've got to out scheme somebody. Oh, look at these schemes and how much better they are. Good football is about doing you better than the other team does themselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially, in the Scott Frost era, I'd say that they are really good at scheming. They have been really good at scheming.
Right. But where's that gotten them?
Yeah. Exactly.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere. What I'm offering here is it's perhaps, Whipple's not gonna blow people away with, these whacked out, crazy, innovative ideas. Maybe it's just like, hey, I got these plays. I've got a lot of experience. I know what works. I know how to tailor what I've got in my playbook to the people I got on the field, and we're just going to go out and execute. That's what good winning sports is about. It's about executing what you got. You don't have to razzle and dazzle people to win. And unfortunately, in this day and age, whether it's college or pro, we do get caught up in the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes type stuff. And that's not saying that's bad. Obviously, it works very well. But at the end of the day, whether you're flashy or not, you still got to out execute. And that's been Nebraska's biggest problem is they haven't haven't out executed many people.
Could you say that it's about the players making the plays?
I could.
Bob Diaco was right.
I mean,
Bobby D
wasn't wrong about everything.
No, tucking his clothes into his sweatpants, that was definitely
a little
the wrong
different.
move. Red zone numbers real quick, by the way, before we talk to Schaefer. So I decided to go back just to 2019, look at Pitt. Red zone scoring percentage, Pitt ranked in 2019 90th in the country in just pure raw red zone scoring. Touchdown red zone scoring, they're actually worse. They were 118th. In 2020, they were 21st in red zone scoring.
And this is again
Pitt. These are Pitt numbers.
This is Pitt.
2020 red zone touchdown scoring percentage, 90th. So good in the red zone at scoring, but not good at touchdown percentage in the red zone. So they had to settle for a lot of field goals, but at least they made those field goals. And then last year for Pitt, 28th overall, but 12th in touchdown red zone percentage scoring. Nebraska,
and you know what? That's probably a bigger difference than the turnovers that I pointed out.
Yes, finishing
the reason why
drives.
Nebraska only had, even though they averaged more yards,
they
averaged 13 fewer points per game.
Yeah, not good.
Because Pittsburgh was finishing drives.
Yeah.
Again, solid, not flashy.
Nebraska's
executing the other team.
This is weird. Nebraska's touchdown red zone percentage last year, their touchdown red zone scoring 36th in the country. So not bad. Well into the upper half. Their red zone scoring overall 106th because they couldn't make field goals.
Give me that dry erase pen.
What are you doing? Are you adding or are you subtracting?
Hell yeah.
Oh no, John's drinking the Kool-Aid.
6.1.
Wow, the positive boy.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't.
6.1.
Yeah, I didn't.
I just worked myself into a shoot. Right there.
Right there.
Right there. R.I.P. 6.1.
All right, I'm not changing mine. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it.
John, put the
You know
Kool-Aid
what's going to
down.
happen is
Put the
I'm
Kool-Aid down.
going to be right back at 6.
No, of course you will. Of course you will.
Mike Schaefer is coming up next. More on Maverick Noonan. More on maybe these numbers. More on whatever it is that's on Schaefer's mind.
A lot of things.
Many things are on Schaefer's mind. Maybe Schaefer will throw more fellow employees under the bus.
Oh, what did he do?
Because of their bad food takes.
Oh, yeah, Happer. And Nick.
And don't forget, dumb
That
debates
takes
is
are
still
good.
to come. Get your dumb debates in now.
John
at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com. You can use the hashtag dumb debates on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620. And we will be back in a moment on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny, breezy, and hot into this evening with the temperatures in the 90s. Mostly clear, stays really warm tonight, lows in the low 70s. Still hot, a few more clouds on Thursday, highs in the mid-90s again with maybe some storms coming in Thursday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, a crash still has the 2 right lanes blocked on the southbound 480 at Harney Street, and it's got traffic stopped all the way back to Dodge. Also, if you're south on the North Freeway, traffic is stopped from Hamilton to 480. A vehicle fire on West Center Road has the right lane blocked at 136th, and then slow going on westbound I-80 between Q and Giles, and delays on the southbound JFK from Q to Childs. I'm Mike Neville.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
It's the Nebraska Lottery's Wheel of Fortune Second Chance promotion. Through August 2nd, enter non-winning $5 Wheel of Fortune scratch tickets for a chance to be one of 6 winners of 3 fabulous trips. Top prize odds, 1 in 128,000.
Before you know it, Husker football season is going to be here, and you want to be in Memorial Stadium or following the Big Red on the road. And while you look for tickets, look no further than ticketsforless.com. Formerly Ticket Express, they are your home for the best selection of Husker tickets inside of Memorial Stadium. And the best part, you'll never pay those outrageous fees like you do at other sites. Just compare. And you want to follow the Big Red on the road? Tickets for Less has you covered there, too. Find the best seats at the best prices to all your favorite Nebraska events, all in one convenient location. Ticketsforless.com. That's ticketsforless.com. Get in the stadium.
No better time than now to focus on your garden or landscape. Come shop Lanaha's Garden Center, filled with the area's best quality plants, flowers, and trees. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Question 5. Lucas and Carla have 3 homework assignments each. Lucas does his online at home, but Carla has no internet at home. If Carla has to travel 5 miles to find Wi-Fi at a noisy diner or a grocery store parking lot, how can she ever be expected to do well in school?
This is not a problem kids should have to solve. Cox Connect to Compete, providing affordable internet to lower-income students. Available to new residential Cox Internet customers who meet eligibility criteria. Other restrictions apply.
Bellino Fireworks, a Metro tradition for more than 35 years. Bellino Fireworks has quality products for the best prices with a 100% product guarantee. More than 50 locations in the Omaha Council Bluffs area, as well as locations in Plattsmouth, Blair, and Fremont. Bellino Fireworks offers the best selection of products in the Midwest. Cakes, artillery shells, and family-friendly products for all ages. There's no need to go anywhere else. Look for their signature inflatables or Bellino flags. Visit BellinoFireworks.com for a full list of locations.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72.
Damon Bennett here for Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, the original peanut butter whiskey. Celebrate this baseball season with Screwball. A little sweet, a little salty, a little savory. It's unlike anything you've tasted before. It's the perfect celebration of the wild and wonderful in all of us. So to all you Screwballs out there, in honor of tomorrow's stories, let's raise a glass to you. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, available near you. Enjoy responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
The Omaha Farmers Market is offering the city's largest and best selection of farm fresh, locally grown produce May 7th through October 16th. Open rain or shine in the Old Market every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and in Exarban Village every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. To keep up with what's in season, visit omahasfarmersmarket.org and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Presented by University of Nebraska Omaha, Methodist Health System, and KETV Channel 7.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. This is unsportsmanlike conduct.
Gonna let that hang out there and just dangle.
Of 1620 The Zone.
Greeting, Earthlings. We have now taken over your radio.
Mike Schaefer.
See, I would argue, because I like to argue.
We all underestimated how hard it is to, 1, win college football games, and 2, transition and take over a program.
Mike Schaefer.
I was trying to kindly tell Mr. Bishop the Vikings have a chance to surprise some people, and I think that they could even win the division.
Mike Schaefer.
It doesn't seem like the kind of book where they would be hooked on meth. That got dark.
Mike Schaefer.
He is Mike Schaefer, the Bob Vila of the program. Doing some housework, things of that nature.
Houseboy.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Let's not, Josh.
In a different era, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not good for anybody.
How is homeowner life? Is it okay? Is it going all right?
Yeah, I mean we're close to finishing up a renovation project that has tested my patience and my belief in humanity, and also my fortune. If anyone listening wants to be the hero of my 4th of July, if you have any knowledge about kegerators and or refrigerators, pretty sure the one that I bought is already a lemon, and that's somewhat problematic.
Oh no.
So from my limited knowledge about how anything works, it's not getting cold, and that seems to be a problem.
Yeah.
I remember when my mini fridge went to crap a couple years ago. I opened it up, I was like, this beer's not as cold as I was hoping it would be. the beer fridge. So I put
Yeah,
my
yeah,
beer.
yeah.
It was a very sad day. So I had to buy a
Is
new
this?
one.
Did you buy it new or used?
Yeah, it's new. It
Ooh.
wasn't cheap, and I don't know that customer service is a real option for the whole thing. So,
Oh, that's not good at all.
yeah, we'll
Somebody
see.
help this man.
We'll see. So, I think it's a compressor issue, but I don't know for sure. I don't know anything about anything really. So
Yeah.
this is why I have other people do stuff. And that's why I have to be patient because other people are busy and I can't always get what I want as quickly as I want it. But
Patience is a virtue.
That's what they tell me. It's just not the virtue I choose often.
Yeah. Good take.
Well, Shape, because you were busy working on those things, you didn't get a chance to see what things we're working on. But if I were to tell you that Nebraska in the last 3 years has utilized the tight end more than Mark Whipple did at Pitt, would that have surprised you?
No. One, I think, the use of Austin Allen last year certainly helps the overall numbers. And then, Jack Stoll was involved in this offense to a degree in 2018 and 2019. So I'm not particularly surprised. I would love to know just the tight end usage in the red zone. But I think the thing about Mark Whipple is that he tends to target primarily whoever their best threat is on offense. And so in the past at UMass, when that was Adam Brenneman, I think, their really good tight end that got drafted or would have been drafted but had a knee injury, and so his NFL career was cut short. And then he ended up at Arizona State and had to resign in disgrace over the recruiting violations to bring everything full circle here. He was very, very good at UMass because, I think Whipple really almost – some might argue this is problematic, but he is going to get the ball to the guy that he deems the best player on their offense as much as humanly possible. And at Pitt, that wasn't the tight end. That was wide receivers.
So, Shape, I guess then who is that guy for Nebraska? And
Great question.
I thought so. I mean, it took until June 29th, but I guess I'll ask the question that everyone's been afraid to ask. Who's the best player on the offense? In all seriousness, I do wonder what you think that would either mean for number of carries if the best player is a back, or the most receptions if the best player is a receiver, or I guess even tight end.
Yeah, it's some of it for Nebraska. I think of that like dodgeball joke where they're like, your best player is a pirate, and their response is, we don't even know who our best player is yet. That's kind of Nebraska's offense, right? Like, It could be Trey Palmer, it could be Travis Vokolek, it could be Ramir Johnson, it could be AJ Allen, it could be Oliver Martin, it could be Isaiah Garcia Castaneda,
Omar Manning.
Yeah, Omar Manning, Alante Brown. Like there's any number of people it theoretically could be, as Josh is having a conniption because of the dodgeball quote.
Yeah, what are you doing?
My wheel was
there?
over the backpack. It was screwing up the chair. Anyway, continue, Shafe. I apologize.
Yeah, this is where being able to watch you as I talk is not super
not
helpful.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
but it goes to what your point is that I don't know that they have a guy that's quintessentially you're going to feed this individual. I sometimes want, just the way that these things work out. If Samari Toure was on this upcoming roster, it would feel like a guy that really came on at parts of last year could have had a monster 2022 in the way that Mark Whipple can highlight wide receivers. I don't know that they have that guy. I mean, I've said it on this program. I've said it on other ones. I think Trey Palmer is a very, very good football player and can help you as a special teams player and as a wide receiver. I'm hesitant to believe that he can be your number one wide receiver, that he's the kind of guy that can get, 60 catches and 1,200 yards. I don't know that Nebraska has anybody that can be that. I want to believe that Isaiah Garcia Castaneda can be that guy, but he missed all of spring ball. So that's a little bit of wishful thinking for me based on him being productive pretty much everywhere he's been otherwise. So, and then, if you talk to somebody like Michael Brunson, God knows why you'd want to do that, except on Tuesdays. He'll tell you that he's pretty high on Travis Vokolek this year. And so, Vokolek has not caught, I think, as many passes at Nebraska as he did in his year at Rutgers that led him to Nebraska. And so he can be a bit of a receiving threat too. It just hasn't emerged that way because it's sort of, he ceded some of that to Austin Allen, and he hasn't really been healthy. So I think there's some really interesting ways this can go. And then go back to Mark Whipple's own words. I think he's really enamored with Ramir Johnson. I mean, I think there's ways that Ramir Johnson could be highlighted in this offense that, save for the Michigan game where they were able to get him the ball in different ways out of the backfield, Nebraska really didn't do last year. So there's, it could be any number of players, really.
Should we give up on the notion, or at least stop with the conversation about finding a bell cow running back?
I don't know that you need to stop with it. I don't know.
The reason I say that is the numbers that we had, basically, I mean, the carries were split pretty evenly among the top 3 backs at Pitt the last 3 years, as they were at Nebraska.
Well, and just talking to, his former quarterback, Andrew Ford, he kind of laughed when I asked his thoughts on the running game with Whipple. And, Whipple hasn't made his career out of feeding the ball to running backs. And so how they're going to merge that up with Brian Applewhite, whose best success when he's been a running backs coach has been when they've loaded up guys when he was at Wyoming and Colorado State. So I am curious how that's going to work, how that blends. But I think if someone sort of emerges, but at the same time, if we think of total yardage for running backs as a more valuable thing than just rushing or receiving yards, if a running back gets like 1,200 total yards from scrimmage, either rushing or receiving, we could call that a bell cow, right? Like, if that's 800 rushing and 400 receiving, or 500 receiving and 700, whatever, however you get to 1,200, do it yourself. I think that we could call that a bell cow running back. It's just different than what we've come to expect. I think part of it for Nebraska fans, and I say this because I have a father who gets really mad about these things, is that they don't have the guy that you're just going to salt the game away with if you have a lead, which, if you're Nebraska, that hasn't been a big concern in recent years either. But it's also a matter of short yardage, or when you just need to go get a yard. I mean, I can think of offhand 2 or 3 times last year where it was second and short and Nebraska goes to Ramir Johnson, and a combination of he's just not the guy that's going to fight through the tackles in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and Nebraska's offensive line puts you in a tough 3rd and short situation. And one of those, to come back to the same game that I already referenced, is Michigan, where 2nd and 1, you don't get it. 3rd and 1, you're giving the ball to Adrian, fumble, game flips, it's over. So I think that's where bell cow can have a different perception for other people. But to me, can they have one guy that can get 1,200 yards from the line of scrimmage? Maybe. I mean, we got to see how the offense looks, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Shafe, moving away from the current team, and I want to talk a little bit about in-state recruiting because we talked about it for a decent bit yesterday. You look at the 24/7 sports ranking for Nebraska, the state of Nebraska, last year's class versus this year, and it's going to tell an entirely different story. There are a ton of reasons why it has happened this year versus last year. What do you most attribute Nebraska's success to in-state recruiting for the 23 class versus 22?
I think really, and look, I mean, people can ignore it or they can believe it if they want, but you get the opportunity to build relationships a hell of a lot more when these kids get to come to campus versus when it's self-guided tours. And so, for a Caden Helms, you picked up an offer from Nebraska and then you never really got your opportunity to go to campus until it was June. And so they couldn't really build off of that relationship. I think that hurt them a little bit. I mean, I think that some of it is Mickey Joseph. I mean, certainly you can tie him to Malachi Coleman, and that works out really well. Some of it's circumstance. I mean, Sam Sledge, Maverick Noonan are sons of former Huskers. Like, that makes that a little bit easier to put together. Brock Knutson is a guy who grew up a Nebraska fan out west. He gets the call and the opportunity, jumps on board. Ben Bramer grew up a Nebraska fan in Pierce. He's been committed since, a long time ago. Gunnar Gatula's right here in Lincoln. So I think circumstance allows for some of it. I think the ability that Nebraska has had to get out and actually recruit the state and have more of a presence or have those guys come in has helped. Maverick Noonan took, 9 visits between when it opened up, and by the time he was done, I don't know that it's actually 9, but I bet it's over 6. So 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that category. Like, he went to Stanford twice. Like, it's just it's a matter of being able to utilize that. I think really helps out, and it's just sometimes you're going to have those cycles where it just doesn't work out, and that was 2022, or even 2021 with Avante Dickerson and Keegan Johnson.
Mike Schaefer joining us from Husker 24/7. When's the last time Nebraska produced an edge rusher with the frame, the skill, and the potential of Maverick Noonan?
Produced one. Like,
you talking about the state?
Yeah, I'm talking about the state.
Are we not counting? Are we not going to count Garrett Nelson? Because that seems like that's the kind of easy equivalent to go to, right?
Right, but and refresh my memory. What were Garrett Nelson's options out of high school?
Well, he committed as a sophomore when wild man Bob Diaco offered him.
Right.
No, actually, it wasn't. Bob Diaco wasn't even there yet. It was Mike Riley. Mike Riley had offered him at that point after one of the more successful Friday Night Lights camps when they had maybe a little bit more talent there in those days. So before Garrett Nelson, though, so let's take him out of the equation.
Sure.
And we just go to straight edge rushers, state of Nebraska. I mean, the first name that comes to mind isn't even a guy who ended up at Nebraska. It's a guy that went to North Dakota State and is now in the NFL, and that's Kyle Emanuel. And you got to go back to like 2012, 2013. I mean, outside edge rusher has not been a particularly fruitful position at Nebraska. Even a guy that was a transplant that was recruited to play defensive end that ultimately ended up as a defensive tackle and was committed at Nebraska and then to LSU, and Christian Lacouture. I mean, he wasn't like an edge player. I mean, that was someone that you knew he was going to grow to be more of an inside type guy. So I really don't have a great answer for you, John. I mean,
that was kind of my point of asking the question, because it's kind of similar to quarterback. Nebraska has not been a state that's produced that caliber of talent at that particular skill
position.
Set.
Yeah.
And right now it's on a run where it has had quarterbacks that have offers from 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Like, that's Power 5 offers for each of those years, I think. 22, yeah. I'm not sure on. I have to go back and check on that. But they've had a number of quarterbacks that have popped up in recent years. So, in a state like Nebraska, just like the really strong run of basketball play for the prep level, like it's always going to be cyclical to a degree. Mm-hmm. Like right now, throw Xavier Betts in there, but the run of wide receivers coming out of the state of Nebraska is pretty darn impressive. And almost all of them seem to be coming out of Bellevue West in their little factory that Mike Huffman has going on over there. But it's impressive in the least that I went and watched a kid that's a 2026 today in Deshaun Prince, who Nebraska's already offered. And 2026, for those of you in your car that don't want to do the math, that means he hasn't played a single game of high school football yet. He's going from eighth grade to a freshman. So, and watching Deshaun Prince, I can see why he got the offer that he did. He's already 6'2", 180 pounds. He's very fluid.
Gosh.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the next big thing at Nebraska.
What are these children being fed?
Just Nebraska raised beef, right?
I guess.
Yeah, that's the power of red. Shafe, speaking of food, come in defense of your man's Connor Happer. What the hell's going on with this guy?
It's crazy. He left for the bright lights of Omaha, and little did he realize that instead of having Jake Sorensen to kick around all the time, he was going to be the guy that was just going to get beat up. And he's also in the unfortunate situation where he has the crossover both in the morning and in the afternoon. So like, there's nowhere for him to hide, like all of his shortcomings or his takes or opinions or, indulgence. It's all going to be like there on display.
Right. I mean, we've had 10, 15 years of Damon's weirdness.
Yeah.
And we've had a decade of Josh's weirdness. So we just kind of come to the conclusion that, yeah, Damon's an odd duck when it comes to food, and Josh is an odd duck.
So
but
I
then
don't.
Tom comes along, and he looks like just the oddest duck.
Right. I don't know where it went, but like I tweeted, I mean, I know for sure one of his most strongly held beliefs is that you just don't change in order. And I the amount of times where I've asked him, like, oh, so do you like this? And he's like, no. And I was like, you keep it on? And he's like, yes. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, so that's where it started. But then Shafe, he said that if he's at a restaurant, like he doesn't like discussing what people are going to order because he doesn't want to order something and then have another person get the same thing.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. Like, what's going on with you, man?
It's like we're trying to outsmart each other.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like,
well, it's because he wants the praise of the waiter.
Yeah, he wants the server to be like, oh, I love that item of food.
Which and
do you know how you do that,
Josh? The waiters don't like to give their recommendations.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not really going to get people going, oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
The easiest way for someone to be impressed by your order is for you to get their recommendation and then choose something else. And they'll immediately be like, oh, well, that is one of our best items. And I can see why you would want that.
I ordered the salad. It's just a salad. That's one of the best salads, though.
Standout salad.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, I wish you could get your kegerator working for the 4th.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, well.
If anyone knows any good kegerator experts.
Or even just because it's also basically just a fridge that's been tricked out.
Yeah, it's a tricked out fridge. But
because I think the rest of the elements that make it a kegerator are going to work fine. It's just that I need it to be cold.
It's just
so
not
I think
cold.
if we start there and then we work off of that, you know.
there
And
a
yes,
reset
for those
button?
wondering, it is
Filled
plugged
full of
in.
ice.
It is plugged in.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's not plugged into one of them funky outlets where you got the little breaker on there and you got to push the reset button, right?
I don't think so, but I didn't install it because as I don't know anything about fridges or kegerators, I am also not an electrician.
Good take.
Well, we wish you the best, and if you have to slum it this weekend and actually drink beers out of cans that come out of your refrigerator,
Yeah, what is this? The old days?
our thoughts will be with you.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna have to go get some of that yellow caution tape and just string it up over the whole bar until this
Great
kegerator
idea.
is fixed.
It's a great idea.
You can't even have a soft opening because there's no kegerator.
And then you can tell all your friends, "Hey, no, everything's fine. It's just someone got murdered here." And that's why
there you go. Yeah,
that's why I have crime tape.
Murder in your house.
You know how they say sometimes, if a mafia hit happens in your restaurant, it's good for business. Same thing with your bar. There was a hit here.
That'd be good. That'd be
All
good.
right. Mike Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen, Husker 24/7.
Bye, Shafe.
Thank you, Shafe.
Bye, guys.
There he is, Mike Schaefer. When we continue, we have dumb debates. And,
Yeah, we do.
The Big 12 has a new commissioner.
I have some takes on this.
All right.
I have some takes.
Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
At Woodhouse, we make car buying simple. From test drive to purchase, we're here to help guide you to your next vehicle with no pressure sales, transparent pricing, and a streamlined purchase process to save you time. Finding the place to shop for your next vehicle just got easier. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, or SUV, we will get you on the road faster with a vehicle that exceeds your expectations. Find new roads and explore all our inventory arriving daily at woodhousegm.com and at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Gary Sharp here for Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It is the original peanut butter whiskey. Now, you can celebrate this baseball season with Screwball. It's a little sweet, it's a little salty, and a little savory. You know what? It's unlike anything I've tasted before. It's the perfect celebration of the wild and wonderful in all of us. So to all the Screwballs out there, in honor of tomorrow's stories, let's raise our glass to you. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, available near you. Enjoy responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
When you need a new roof, especially if you have storm damage, the last thing you want to hear from a roofing company is that it's going to be weeks or even months before they can get to it because of supply issues. This is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock. As one of the largest roofing companies in America, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. That means our warehouse has everything we need to do your job now. And because we stocked up before the supply crunch, we paid a lot less than anyone looking for roofing supplies now and can share those savings with you. No one in Omaha can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Let our local family serve your family. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, 402-281-1780. That's 402-281-1780. Or online at shamrockroofer.com.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power and savings with style. Not to mention top tech to help keep you connected. Plush, premium interiors, and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. With a hybrid or electric vehicle built for every driver. Seriously, dear gas prices? Do you really think you can stand in our way? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
See your independently owned Omaha Metro Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here from my friends at Kugler Vision. If you have tough vision problems, or if you've been told that you cannot have LASIK and you are stuck with bad vision, don't believe it. There are 7 different modern vision correction procedures, and they offer all 7 of those at Kugler Vision. Connect with Kugler Vision today. Find out about the options that they have and what it could mean for you. Give them a call today at 402-558-2211 or book your consultation online at KuglerVision.com.
The best part of your summer night is listening to Royals baseball on 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Screwball of the Day.
All right, I picked this one just because it'll make Josh happy.
Oh, I love being happy.
Eli Manning. Recently, now Eli Manning was famous for a couple of things. 1, beat Tom Brady twice in a Super Bowl. 2,
Can never stand there with his mouth closed.
Never missed a game due to injury.
That's true. When he got benched, it was like a legitimate controversy.
Yeah, but he never missed a game because of injury.
Yeah.
Well, after being gone for a couple of years, he recently got the itch to see if he was still in football shape. So he decided to try to run the old Giants conditioning test, which consists of running sideline to sideline and back in 18 seconds and do it 10 times. You had to run across the field.
You got to have speed and endurance.
You got to run across the field
I could probably do
and
that.
finish each lap in under 18 seconds and do it 10 times.
I want to try this now.
He didn't make it.
Ha! You idiot, Eli. You suck.
He pulled a hamstring after the 9th one.
Oh, no.
Did he not stretch?
I'm sure he did.
He's old now, Nick.
I'm sure he did.
You could stretch all you want. You try to go do that. You might hurt yourself too.
This might explain why he wasn't at the College World Series. I was legit disappointed. I thought that Eli was going to be there and we were going to get an interview and I was going to get a picture and I was going to tweet it to Robin and I was going to tweet it to you and say, I met the GOAT.
And instead,
but instead he was
probably
probably
icing
laid
his
up,
hamstring.
in a hospital bed with his torn hammy because he couldn't finish the wind sprints.
Man, you're making me feel bad because on one hand, I don't like cheering injuries. It's a disgusting act. I don't want to be one of those monsters.
I do.
On the other hand, Eli hurt his hamstring running around. That's hysterical.
So Eli Manning, Josh, gets the screwball of the day.
Screwball of the day.
Brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Find Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey where you find your favorite spirits and enjoy this weekend responsibly for the holidays. Remember, it's a holiday weekend.
People do forget.
Some good recipes, too. You know what? I wonder, the other day, we had the dinner with the Westwood One folks. I wonder how Screwball would do as a whiskey marinade for a steak.
Oh.
Or what about chicken? Like peanut butter chicken?
That too. I bet
Aren't there some cakes that have alcohol like infused in the cake?
Oh, sure.
Something like that.
There's rum cake. Rum cake is real good.
There you go.
Check it out. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey.
I wanted one more follow-up real fast on the discussion of the day for us, and that was going off of something you heard on the morning show last week. Damon mentioning the running back, like 20 carries. What was the quote that you remember?
Well, I mean, basically he was saying, can't somebody get 20 carries on
Yeah,
this?
okay. So
average 20 carries a game.
I brought up Derrick Henry a couple years ago, and you said that's the NFL. That's a fair counter. So I realized as we were talking, I think Shafe said something really interesting. The bell cow ideal or idea. Around here, I think there's a lot of history, of course, built into that position. And so I think at times we can't really move on to the modern era. And stop me if you've heard that before. But for whatever reason, I thought of Kenneth Walker. He said, oh, Kenneth Walker. Because Shafe was describing a player. It's less of like a raw carry total and more just like, can this guy just like run the ball out and finish the game off? Kenneth Walker. Last year, he played in 12 games. He averaged 22 carries per game. Best running back in college football only had 22 carries a game. He had 263. It's tough. It's tough. It is. That's the best player on that team, and he only got the ball 22 times. You say, Josh, what about receptions? He had 13 catches on the year, so literally just add one more touch per game. He had 23 offensive touches per game.
So maybe we need to reset the bar. What's a bell cow might be 15 carries a game?
Just for the most part, sadly, they just don't exist anymore.
No, they don't.
For whatever, I mean, I know the reasons, but for some reasons.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They do not.
Mm-hmm. Gordon wants to know if Eli Manning ever even completed that drill when he was playing. You probably have to. It's probably part of
it's part of their conditioning drill. I'm sure they did.
Remember, who was the player that Washington signed from the Titans that was Hainsworth?
Yeah, Albert Hainsworth.
And he like failed his preseason, the preseason,
right?
Whatever. He couldn't do it. He was so out of shape, and they just gave him a huge deal. It was a big controversy. So you got to pass those things before the season starts.
Yeah. Coming up, it is Dumb Debates.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, first time we've been all right here together for a Dumb Debates in 3 weeks.
Oh, man, it's been too long.
It has.
I've missed you, John.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I did. I missed you.
No, you didn't.
I missed you, John.
No, you didn't.
You were
definitely
with him
didn't.
all
You were
the
literally
time.
with me virtually the entire time, save for 2 days.
But
Every day
those
I
2
was in a-
days were hard, John.
We'll have questions like this from Cody. When a dog goes poop, then kicks dirt and grass, are they trying to cover the poop or put air in their butt? We'll have those questions and more when we return.
Those are important questions.
The questions that we need answered.
Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, that earlier crash still has 2 left lanes blocked on southbound 480 near Harney Street. It's got traffic stop and go all the way back from the North Freeway. Avoid that part of southbound 480 if you can. Also got a crash on the Northwest Radial Highway at Hamilton affecting northbound commuters. Stop and go traffic back from Nicholas Street. 13th Street is closed because of a water main break between Howard and Jackson Street. And stop and go traffic on the South JFK between Q Street and Childs Road. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's Omaha.
Fernando's is hiring servers. Fernando's has openings for people who like working with a great team and earning big tips. So if you think you can help customers get their Fernando's fix, then stop into the Fernando's location at 114th and Dodge to apply today. Equal opportunity employer.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
Zone TV is now live at 1620thezone.com. Powered by Tickets for Less. Watch us live and see what's happening from behind the scenes every weekday from 6A to 6P. No matter how you listen or watch, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone TV, powered by Tickets for Less. Find tickets for all your favorite events, concerts, and more, both local and outside Nebraska, at ticketsforless.com. Do our Zone guys have a face for radio? You decide. Watch us today on Zone TV, powered by Tickets for Less at 1620thezone.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw from your mom.
Listeners and not to, we did anyway, dumb debating.
John's computer sucks, Macs are the only way, dumb debating.
Fullbacks are running backs, hamburger steaks.
Josh is too dumb to eat a cupcake.
Mailing a base.
Does John like Nebraska or Creighton?
Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating. Die for the pylon or give up on the plate, dumb debating.
Millennials are great and old should go away, dumb debating.
Rarely do we find any common ground.
Josh wants his food to be the best around,
even if it gives him fatal flatulation.
Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating. When a tree falls down and nobody's around, you can bet your ass it won't make a sound. Water ain't wet, you know nothing about hydration. Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating. Just 3 radio hosts on air, dumb debating.
The segment, when last we did this segment, when we were asked if you were inviting a new listener to the program and you wanted to give them a segment, something you do on a regular basis that gives people a true, honest assessment of what the program is all about, the answer was Dumb Debates.
Dumb Debates.
Dumb Debates.
This is when we take your debates and we debate them. Sports, politics, food,
dumbly,
entertainment.
The Second Amendment.
Oh,
I mean, it's been brought up, I think. But yes.
What kind of bear arms would you want? Puller? Yes. Yes.
Why do you sell his jokes? Why do you sell his jokes?
I wasn't selling it.
You
I was
just
covering
sold
my
it.
face because I'm so embarrassed.
No, you were laughing.
No, I swear to God, I was not laughing.
I think
I saw
They're
a
getting
chuckle.
worse. They're getting worse. I really was hoping that Kevin was going to grind him down into dust. So
Kevin
he
was
would
great.
no longer do this anymore.
Kevin was great.
Kevin was great.
I mean, Kevin sold his jokes. Well, this is where you can submit any of your dumb debates to us and do them whenever it tickles your fancy. It does not just have to be on Wednesdays because we do archive these. I still have archived ones from several weeks ago. I try to save them all.
Yeah, I found
and
a tweet.
eventually get to as many of them as we possibly can.
I found a tweet earlier today from basically 4 weeks ago that I was like, oh man, I don't think we ever did that on Dumb Debate. So we can do that today.
Well, now, and I believe you did this last week with Robbie, correct?
Which one?
Dumb
We didn't do
Debates.
it last week. We did it 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so if there's any repeats here,
Well,
just
we'll
let
let
me
you
know.
know.
And
We'll let you know.
We'll move on because this was a good one from Joshua that came into the Equitable Bank inbox. Said the first option, you get 2 options. One option is the world stops for 4 hours.
Oh no.
And you get to keep on living. You can't do anything illegal during this time, but you're basically getting an extra 4 hours every day.
So time stops or
yes.
Okay.
This is kind of like paying for the extra hours.
Yeah.
The second option is that there is a 4-hour window every day where the food you eat burns calories instead of adds them. So in other words, you could eat 1,500 calories up until 5 o'clock. And let's say your 4-hour window was 5 to 9. But then between 5 and 9, you eat 2,000 calories.
And it burns it?
But it burns it. So you're actually at a 500 calorie deficit by the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful with that one. You could malnourish yourself. It's dangerous.
Good point.
It's dangerous.
That's a good point.
So which one would we rather do?
So would you rather have the extra free 4 hours a day? Again, you can't do anything illegal in that time.
Even like drive fast? Like,
No,
is
it
that
says
illegal?
don't. You can't. But you could get some chores done that you could nap.
Yeah.
I mean that alone.
But you can't smoke marijuana. So you couldn't do that.
Well, it's not illegal. It's
Well,
not.
it depends
legal
on
in
what state
Nebraska.
you're in.
That's true.
It's not legal.
But I
in
couldn't drive
Nebraska.
65 and a 60.
So yes, the people in Colorado could smoke.
You
for
could
their 4
drive to
hours.
Colorado though.
The people in
drive to
Iowa
Colorado.
could gamble for those 4 hours.
Oh, that sounds
By the way,
But if everything
sorry,
stops, what would
sorry
you
to
gamble
friend
on?
of the program PPB. She lost last night.
yeah, I saw that. But then they're going to have the election again in, 4 months?
Yeah.
So fun. Which would I rather do?
Which would you rather have?
Easily the first one, because that goes back to something we discussed 2 weeks ago. My idea was, would you have a subscription service where you could buy extra time in the day, and how much would you pay? Because basically, I think right now the days are too short. I want 4 additional hours a day. I want an extra hour that I could sleep, and then 3 extra hours where I could do whatever I want, whether it's read or a TV show or something. Just, I don't have enough time anymore. I'm running out of time. I don't even have kids. I don't know how people with kids have time to do anything. How do you live? I want more
because
time.
we're not selfish.
Yeah.
You
you're
have
not
Mr.
selfish.
Banks.
I have Mr. Banks. It's great. But really right now, as I'm in the heart of my training for marathon, I don't know if you guys know, I run sometimes. But I am.
Man, you talk about a waste of a free 4
I
hours.
am maximizing.
to run.
Well, I
You're
wouldn't
gonna
do that.
exercise.
I do that already. I maximize my day I think pretty well. I would love more hours, though. I would love more hours to relax.
Nick does bring up a good point about the second option and the potential
Malnourishment?
for malnourishment. Though, as someone who would love to lose some weight,
Yeah, no, I'm still taking it.
I think I would take the chance because, hey, here's the deal: if you find out that over time, it's not a good thing,
just eat more.
Then you just
eat more in the normal hours.
Yeah,
balance
eat
it
more
out.
in the normal. Yeah, you can figure it out.
I don't count calories anyway. Let's do this.
There you go.
I just have a feeling I would eventually get bored with the extra 4 hours.
Yeah, I'd run out of things to
No
do.
way.
I think I would.
Yes, yeah, you do.
What happens when
Right.
you've caught up on all the shows or you've played all the games,
that's
Josh?
true.
I will never read all the books, so I still got the books. Plus, man, that extra.
Not every book is worth reading.
There's a lot of really bad books out
No,
there.
I know, but I'm sure if
A
I
lot of
had
problematic books.
Hey, 4 hours. Sometimes it's nice just to sit.
Well,
Stare at the wall.
but again, I think
Sit on
sometimes
my deck. I love my deck.
I think sometimes,
Watch some movies. I could call John. Hey, John, how's life?
I think we appreciate the time that I think we would appreciate less the free time that we have if we had a free 4 hours every day.
Mm-hmm.
Thus, it would make those moments less special. Thus,
I mean, I'd probably
you
still
would
probably
be more
work.
bored.
I'd still probably work.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'd probably end up.
It's so hard for me to just like settle down.
The extra 4 hours would probably help me hang out with more people because there's some times where I just want to have a night to myself,
Yeah.
Not talk to anyone, do anything.
Because I always need, like, I don't know how you guys are. I almost need everything kind of put away or done. Like, for example, there was literally last week, I was done with dinner and I had like a couple of dishes and I didn't need to clean them in that exact moment, but I ended up doing that. And then I did a couple other things. It's like, why can't I just like sit down on the couch? Because I would know that they're dirty.
You're just an antsy boy.
I just got to get everything done. So I'd probably just still do more things in those 4 hours.
This one kind of fits into something I said yesterday. Remember the quote from Sam Farmer, the writer for the LA Times?
Yeah.
The difference between a million and a billion?
Yes.
A million seconds is 11 and a half days. A billion seconds is 31 years.
Good Lord. So what's the question?
Gillette Razor on Twitter says.
the Gillette Razor?
A different Gillette Razor.
How did he type? Oh, the bear arms.
Would you rather have a guaranteed $1 million or flip a coin for a chance at a billion?
Guaranteed
Someone
million.
offers
Guaranteed
you a
million.
million, but says if you get a coin flip
And
if
it's
it comes-
tax free?
Well, yeah, we're
Probably
going to
not
assume
Tax free. $1 million, I could pay off all of my college debt, any credit card debt, and I could put maybe a down payment on a house. It is 2022 after all. Yeah. Give me the $1 million. That'd be good.
Yeah, give me $1 million. I'm fine with that. I could live off
You
of that.
wouldn't take the coin flip for
No.
$1 billion? Imagine what you could do for $1 billion.
Imagine
I don't
if it's-
care. Imagine what I
if
could do with
it's-
$1 million.
Imagine if it's zero, though.
Well, then you're
and-
back to being your normal self.
But then I'd be like, I should have
With-
taken the $1 million.
with your extra 4 hours in the day to
Oh,
read
oh,
and
hell yeah.
run.
Man, it'd just be so nice not to have to worry about a lot of that stuff.
I'm never going to see any amount of that money in my life. So if I have a guaranteed
Great
mil,
point,
I'm
Nick.
taking it.
Yeah, give me the cool $1 million. I don't want to put that to chance. It's a coin.
Plus,
no, thank you.
You could put it in a bank or something. Let it mature.
You could put it in a bank, John.
Let it mature.
You ain't getting to $1 billion, though.
My financial
Imagine
advisor,
with
he's
one
good.
coin flip, I could catch LeBron James and said, "Ha! What you had to take 38 years to do, I did with a coin flip, sucker."
But then you'd be like, but John, you're almost 51, so technically it took you 51 years to get there.
But I only did it with a coin flip, and now I'm equal to you.
I don't need $1 million, and I sure as hell don't need $1 billion. But I'll take $1 million.
Yeah, $1 million would be sweet. I've always thought, here's a dumb debate. What's the perfect amount of money where you just be like, I am totally good? Like the least amount of that money, not the most, like $1 billion, trillion. Like, yes, we know.
$5.273 million.
You're just a dork. I think 10 million. I want 10 million bucks. I feel like I'd be good. You give me 10 million, I think I'm
Well,
I'm
guess what? You're only a tenth of the way there, and you could have surpassed it by several times.
No, a 10
by
million would
taking-
be at 1% of the way there, right?
No.
A tenth of the
no,
way to
you're
$1 billion.
taking. No, you're taking.
Oh,
the
with
1
my
million.
million. Yeah. Yeah.
But if you get the coin flip,
Yeah, but what if I have zero again?
well, you wouldn't have zero. You'd still have your health.
I do like my health. Mustache Adam, Phil Mickelson would take the coin flip for $1 billion, no doubt. Yeah,
Absolutely, he would.
Yeah, and then he'd be like, "Did you see what he said, by the way, when you were gone? 9/11 stuff."
What?
Oh yeah,
You talked about 9/11?
They asked Brooks Koepka about it yesterday. Man, those guys are getting put in awkward spots. A sports dumb debates question.
Oh, okay. See you guys.
From Dirk Chatlin. This is from June the 3rd.
Dirk sent us a dumb debate?
No, he asked a question on Twitter, and I thought this is a great dumb debates question, and then I forgot about it the next
Wow,
day.
Dirk asking dumb questions.
No, it's a father question. He's a dad. You know, he had sex a couple times. All right, so here we go. This is after game 1 of the NBA Finals. If you remember game 1,
I don't.
Warriors were up huge early. They lost. Okay, so he says, my sons love Golden State. I recorded game 1 for them. They're watching now. They've reached the 4th. They're yelling. They're throwing stuff at the wall. Quick aside. This tweet is at 11:57 a.m. the next day. I would have spared them, I could have spared them this agony, told them Golden State blew the lead, but then future wins wouldn't mean as much. I did the right thing, yes? And he added, gosh, this is hard to listen to. I'm upstairs. They're downstairs. They are cheering hard. They think the Warriors are going to win. I might be a terrible person. So basically, they had to go to bed the night before. Did he make the right decision first of all, it's the summer, Dirk. Let him stay up and watch it. Second of all, did he make the right decision in allowing them to watch this game, even though he knew the result and knew that they were going to be miserable for it?
Well, if that was what they wanted, if that was their choice, they wanted to watch it. Yeah. I mean, that'd be like saying, my kids haven't seen the latest episode of Kenobi, and then I spoil it for them.
Yeah, that's different. That's different, though. This is a sporting event.
Not really.
This is your fandom is wrapped up into it.
Well, but your fandom can be wrapped up into a good TV show.
Let me look at it this way. The Cubs are playing in game 1 of the World Series. For whatever reason, your wife makes you go to bed early. You are not allowed to watch the last 4 innings of the baseball game. You wake up the next day, you're going to watch it on DVR. She knows the result, though. Would you want her to tell you and spare you all of the agony of a blown 8th inning lead?
If I specifically told that person or told her I don't want to be spoiled, then no, I would not be mad.
So you wouldn't want her to spare you the pain?
No.
I'm with you, by the way. Dirk definitely, the wrong decision, again, is it's summertime. Let them stay up.
Well, the wrong decision was letting him watch the NBA.
Oh, get out of here. But no, I'm with Dirk. Yeah, future wins won't mean as much. If you get a get out of jail free card and don't have to watch the game and be sad, no, you got to go through the pain.
Yeah.
It's what makes the.
We've made things way too easy for these Zoomers in the first place.
Yeah,
they need to learn how to suffer through fandom.
Yeah.
We don't. There's no free
You can't
get out of
watch it
jail
on
free
TikTok.
card.
You got to watch it on ABC.
You gotta watch the game. You gotta be there for the game. Can't just wait for some idiot TikTok highlight and then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What if somebody texts you about the game instead of calls you about the game?
I'd be very sad. I don't want to get.
Well, if
spoiled.
I'm not, if I don't want spoilers, I don't want spoilers.
Yeah.
I agree, by the way.
Yeah.
With all you.
And someone whose parents made him go to bed and miss Mark McGwire hitting home run number 62, and also missed the
Which also happened in the summer.
Yes, it did. Well, technically it was September, so I was in school.
Yeah, that's a good
and then they also made me go to bed during Game 7 of the 2001 World Series, and I missed the Diamondbacks comeback, but they woke me up after each event. Oh, Josh, come down and watch the reaction. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Maybe that's why I don't like baseball, because my parents sucked all the love of it out of my life in 2001 and 1998.
At least you got to watch it.
No, I got to watch
didn't.
this.
He got to watch the celebration several minutes
there
after
were
it happened.
DVRs in 98 and 01. I still get triggered thinking about
They
my
don't show
parents.
baseball in Iowa.
Go to bed and then wake you up to watch a celebration? Let me sleep. Love you, Mom and Dad.
Apparently not.
Josh Otson, the producer of the Connor Happer Show, says, yes, pain is part of sports. Got to let them build those calluses and also let them stay up late and watch live. Yes, thank you.
Scott wants to know, because he sent us a tweet. This was from a few weeks ago from Josh's favorite Twitter follow, Darren Ravel.
Ugh.
It's of a burger at Braves games that is a Wagyu beef patty with cage-free pan-fried eggs.
Ooh.
Soft yolks.
Which is how we roll, don't we, John?
Yes. Gold leaf wrapped foie gras, cold water lobster tail, heirloom tomato, Tillamook cheddar cheese with truffle aioli on a toasted buttered bun, served with Parmesan waffle fries for the low price of $151.
Oh my God.
Scott says, how much is too much for ballpark food?
I'd buy that.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
You would not spend $151.
I think I would.
Nick, I have a lot of questions about your bank account.
Because then I could say I tried it, and it sounds delicious.
It's a freaking burger.
It sounds awesome.
It sounds amazing.
great, but I'm not paying $151 for a burger.
I'd do it one
unless
time.
the burger had $152 wedged into it somewhere.
I would do it one
That'd
time
be awesome.
for the experience.
I would not. The most I think I've ever spent at a stadium was $20. Like on one thing was $20. I think I bought something expensive at a Cowboys game one time.
You need to go to a sporting event in New York.
What was the most money you spent?
Oh God! I mean, the beers there are like $18.
Well, that's less than 20.
I know, but that's just a beer.
I'm talking about food
You want a
item.
beer and a dog, it's like $30.
No. I'm not talking about combined. I've done that.
I know.
But I've spent like $15 to $20 on like, a food item. But a lot of the goofy stuff is at baseball games, and I don't really go to a whole lot of professional baseball games. I'm going to a Royals game in August, so I'll let you know if I see anything weird down there.
Here's one of the things, and listen, I appreciate, like the folks at Levy restaurants, they do a great job with the stuff at the ballpark and CHI Health Center, and they come up with some creative stuff. Sometimes it can be a little too much because
that thing's a disaster in your hands.
Exactly.
At a baseball game.
Because you're sitting in a seat at a baseball game. You don't have
you don't have a table.
You don't have a table. You don't have a knife and fork. Now, I suppose
The
if you're spending
napkins are
$151, you're probably sitting in a hoity-toity section that has an actual table.
That's true.
But I mean, for something like this, you would like to be able to, stay relatively clean while you're trying to eat it, because this thing looks messy.
Yeah,
messy AF.
Yeah, you want to take it out, clean it off.
I retweeted it, by the way, if you want to take a look at it. It looks great. I'm not saying it doesn't look good, but no, I bet you I could get a burger.
Oh, hell yeah, I'd buy
I
that.
bet you I could get a burger for $10 that tastes just as good as that.
I don't know about just as good.
I bet it does.
You're not going to get a Wagyu burger for $10.
Jordan says
I bet you
$151.
could, but there's so much stuff on it, you probably can't even tell it's Wagyu.
That's a good point. Jordan says $151. You could buy a couple beers for that much.
That's true. But Nick and Josh, they'll run out of money because they took the $1 million. Whereas I would take the coin flip. I would be able to afford this for everybody.
That's true. Maybe. Sky says this wouldn't fit in a tweet. I think that Nick needs to change his name. But not only should he change his name, he needs to trade his name with someone, specifically Mike Trout. Mike Trout sounds like a normal guy from Iowa who has leftover redneck tendencies, but is now a radio producer and enjoys niche dork hobbies. But Nick Grimm sounds like a badass athlete or a Marvel villain. But wouldn't you be more nervous if a guy named Grimm instead of Trout was coming up against your team in the bottom of the ninth? So Nick needs to reach out to the Angels organization and trade names. Agree or disagree? What should Nick demand in compensation for his trade?
My last name is Cool, so no.
He should trade it for that burger.
Also, you didn't have to call out my redneck tendencies
That
like that.
was funny.
I'm sorry.
That was very funny.
You can't take the Iowa out of the boy.
I'll be honest, Nick. I didn't read this whole email when it first was sent to me. I read the first part. I was like, that's funny. I'll save this for later. Redneck tendencies, who is now a radio producer and enjoys niche dork hobbies.
He called me out.
This is a very funny and very specific and kind of nails it.
Too accurate.
Yeah, the only part that it was not in there was not funny.
I'm hilarious.
Should Nick Grimm trade his name with Mike Trout? Would Mike Trout be a better baseball player if his name was Nick Grimm?
Do I look like a Mike, though? That's the other thing.
Yeah, you look like a Mike Trout.
I've been told I look like a Nate.
Yeah, you could be a Nike.
Don't you like fishing?
I haven't fished in so long.
But you used to like fishing.
When
you were doing your redneck things?
Fished a few times.
Hey, Mom, Pa.
I was never really that big at fishing.
We don't have ESPN still. Can I go fishing?
I was a video game boy. Played a lot of video games.
Yeah. What do you think about Mike Trout if his name was Grimm? Oh, God, Grimm's coming to the
I
plate.
I don't think it fits for him, though.
You don't think so?
So there's already
Because
a Grimm
he's
that
not-
plays for the A's.
Because he's
a
not.
pitcher.
He's not a. Well, first of all, Mike Trout does not play for the A's. He plays for the
I
Yankees.
said there's already a Grimm that
He's
plays
saying
for
there's
the
already a Grimm in
A's.
baseball.
He's a pitcher.
Yeah,
It's in the same state.
I know, but
No,
but
your
no one.
ball.
But only 2,000 people go to their games, so no one knows. Mike Trout, it actually fits him because he's not a super dynamic personality. He's not a boring guy, but I mean he's not.
Yeah, I
He's
know
not
what you
very
mean.
flashy.
Yeah.
If he had a name like Grimm, it wouldn't fit him.
Yeah.
Now Trout would definitely fit Nick.
Okay.
Definitely.
Nick Trout.
Nick Trout.
Nick Trout.
Okay.
Nick Trout. It would definitely work.
Nick Trout.
What wouldn't work?
Are you
is,
saying I don't have a personality,
Josh
John?
and Trout.
what wouldn't work is Nick Otani.
No, that would be
But
great.
then you couldn't call me Grim on the Grum anymore. It'd be Trout on the Grum.
Trout on the sprout. What? I don't know. Figure it out. Speaking of fish and fishing, Jordan says, is fish from fresh water, lake, river, stream, still considered seafood? You catch a fish from a stream. Are you like, hey, we're having seafood for dinner?
I mean,
say
technically.
Well, thanks. It's a bluegill.
I mean, technically, no, because it's not
Type
from
of
the sea.
I would say we're having fish for dinner.
Yeah.
We're having nasty river fish for
River
dinner.
fish.
Ugh, gross. That's disgusting.
Here, I got a bluegill.
I remember when I was growing
We're
up.
having
catfish and bass.
Sioux Falls wastewater.
See, I did. Okay, so I was with the uncle that you grew up with, and we went fishing. This is probably one of the last times I ever fished because I absolutely despise it. We caught a bunch of stuff. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so great. I can't wait to have it. We had this. This stuff was so gross. It's the most disgusting seafood I've ever had in my entire life. Probably because it came from Sioux Falls. It was so nasty.
I'm not surprised.
Never again.
I'm not surprised.
Never again. Andrew says, if you could bring any restaurant or chain of restaurants to Omaha, what would it be?
Whataburger.
What a burger.
Whataburger.
I know what your answer is.
Well, I'm torn.
Oh, you got two choices.
Natalie and Bridley.
I know which one you're going to do. They both have N in the middle.
No. Waffle House.
Oh, that is a surprise.
I would.
That's
love
a
to
huge
have, I
surprise.
would love to have a Waffle House here. But yes, In-N-Out is the goat.
But not Steak and Shake?
No.
I thought you loved
Well,
Steak and Shake.
there is a Steak and Shake in Lincoln.
But
I've
you
not
never
been
go
there.
to it.
Exactly.
We should do a remote from there. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I would. But I'll be straightforward and honest. It would lose some of its appeal because it's that thing you can't have all the time. So it makes it more special when you are in the neighborhood and you can have it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. There are a lot of restaurants
Now,
here. that
I felt the same
now.
about Chick-fil-A. I was always like, oh, okay, Chick-fil-A is delicious. Now we have a Chick-fil-A. My boys work at Chick-fil-A, but I don't visit Chick-fil-A all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had
It
more
kinda
Chick-fil-A when it
loses-
wasn't in Nebraska. Now that it's in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up. It was basically just McDonald's and Burger King around where I grew up. Then I came here and I have access to all this other stuff.
The Trouts are in.
Here come the Trouts.
Here come the Trouts.
Here
Okay.
come the Trouts.
Shake Shack's my answer, by the way. Though I would love a Fogo de Chao because we don't have a Brazilian steakhouse in Omaha, right?
We got one in Lincoln.
We
though.
have one in Lincoln. I don't remember what that one's called. I've
It's
never been
called,
there. Is it good?
Yes.
You ever had a Fogo de Chao, Nick?
I haven't. What is that?
Brazilian steakhouse. So the lots of meats. The salad bar is awesome too.
The salad bar is very eclectic.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of
But
cheeses. and-
basically,
It's so good.
What they do is they just bring around giant skewers of meat.
Oh,
And they just, if you want some, you got a little thing on the table. It's green or red if you want more. And they just,
oh my
different
God.
cuts
It's
of
awesome,
steak,
Nick.
That's amazing.
pork,
Very good.
chicken, sausages.
Yeah.
It's a meat lover's delight.
Yeah.
It's
I think
You
I'm
gotta
about
have
to
a game
cry.
plan going in because
Rodizio. That's what
that's
it
what
is
it's
in
called.
Lincoln.
Because they bring the lesser meats over first.
The
But you're
lesser
so
meats.
hungry that you're like, yeah, I'll take some of that, and then finally the good steaks start coming
Then
over,
they
and you're
get
like
the
a little too full.
tenderloins, and
So
then
that's why
they-
it's always
yeah.
like, no, skip. Give me the good stuff. Give me the good stuff.
Yeah.
The salad bars are awesome though.
Yeah, and the salad bar by itself, you could get fed.
I think I need to go to this place.
Yeah. Let's do a show there.
It doesn't cost $151 like that burger does.
That's true. Rick says, other than the vacation itself, what part do you enjoy the most? 1, leaving work the day before, knowing you're gone for a period of time. 2, leaving home that first day. 3, arriving at your destination. Or 4, if you're Josh, being a part of a vacation of the month club.
The airport.
Oh,
That sounds
you know what my
gross.
rankings honestly are? I mean, arriving is the best, definitely, because you have the whole trip in front of you and you're finally there.
Yeah.
But man, leaving work the day before is a lot of fun. That's better than the actual like leaving home. Leaving home is usually so early. You're tired.
It can be, but then you're stressed out about, I got to make sure everything's packed and this and that and the other thing.
Yeah, that's true.
To me, it's about the arrival.
I think
then it
arrival-
feels
Oh,
like
the
you're-
arrival.
Then it feels like, okay, we're here. It's go time.
Yeah,
It's go time.
yeah, that's nice.
Johnny Pig wants to know, do fish ever get thirsty? What about saltwater fish?
They probably get thirsty for air, right? Isn't that why they pop
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
Do they drink water? Do fish drink water?
I mean, they live in the water.
Yeah, so they probably
really-
don't drink it.
Yeah.
Right?
you know,
Yeah. I don't think
Do fish get
drink.
drunk on anything? Is there
Johnny
like the
Pig,
equivalent of
this is a
alcohol?
good science question. You need to ask a scientist.
Like peyote for fish?
Yeah, exactly. Like, is there something down under the sea where like the mom fishes are like, don't do that. That's illegal.
Is it dolphins? They inflate pufferfish, and then there's something with pufferfish that gets dolphins high.
Nice.
So I wonder if it's a similar thing.
Awesome.
People have all these weird things about dolphins.
I learned that. I just learned it. It's like, hey, dolphins like to get high by bullying pufferfish. All right, I guess.
We're gonna have to like declare war on these creatures.
They're problematic.
Aaron is listening wrong. He says your take on getting off work with a vacation is top tier, and I agree. Thank you, Aaron. But he says your take on freshwater fish being seafood is not correct. Is Trump level not correct? Seafood involves saltwater, SMH. I didn't say that was seafood.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah,
we asked if it was.
Clean your ears out, Aaron.
I said,
this is dumb debate.
I said technically you probably couldn't call it seafood because it's not from the
It's
sea.
lake food
It's
and or
actual
river,
river
and it's
food.
nasty. Don't eat it.
Well, if you clean it, it's
don't eat it.
Probably fine.
One more. Simple Sauce Tea. What show gets canceled first? Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, or The Price is Right?
The Price is Right.
The Price is Wrong.
The Price is Right just celebrated its 50th anniversary. They just did a 50th anniversary show in prime time. It was a couple weeks ago when I was prepping for the CWS. I actually watched it. It's the first episode of Price is Right I've watched in years.
That's the one with Drew Carey as the
that's
host.
Drew Carey. Used to be Bob Barker.
Jeopardy is the one where what's his name just died?
Pat Sajak.
And then Wheel of
No,
Fortune.
Pat Sajak did not just die.
What was his name?
Pat Sajak is Wheel of Fortune.
Pat Sajak is Wheel of Fortune. I'm getting him.
I'm going to say Price is Right.
I'm going to say Wheel of Fortune.
Of those three, because Price is Right still is in the daytime time slot, you know, on CBS before the soap operas. And it used to be back in the day, games, you know, you had the Today Show or the Good Morning America show would end at 9, and then it would be either like reruns or game shows until about 11, and then the soap started.
Soap scrimmage.
And now you don't have daytime game shows anymore. And Price is Right is like the last daytime game show. Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, they survive in syndication. And that's very lucrative. And Jeopardy, even without Alex Trebek, is going to survive. And I think Wheel of Fortune. I think it's probably Price is Right.
So you think after Drew Carey either like quits or
Well, I don't even know if it has anything to do with that. I just think if CBS decides, hey, we could.
It would probably get into syndication, though, don't you think?
I don't.
Don't enough people
it's an
watch
hour
I think we have to
long.
look at society for this. So Jeopardy, always going to be fun. People love Jeopardy.
Because it's a quiz show.
It's a quiz show, and that's never going to get old.
Yeah. Wheel of Fortune.
Price is Right. I think people still like to dream about things that they would like to get one day, even if they can't
That's the
afford
one where they
them.
guess the price of things?
Yeah, if the price is right.
Ah.
I think Wheel of Fortune is going to go.
Why?
Because they give away a lot of trips and cars and vehicles, and all that stuff is expensive, and it's...
Well, so does Price is Right.
That's fair. I
They
forgot
give away a
Price is
lot
Right
of
did
that stuff.
I only watch Jeopardy. I just know Jeopardy's going to live forever because it should.
I just think it's based on where it sits, because Price is Right is still on network TV. The other two shows are syndicated. So I would guess it'll be The Price is Right. But that, I mean, kudos to all of them for surviving
this long, yeah.
This long.
I mean, the crazy thing is two of the three have, changed hosts in, recent decades, and Bob Barker's still alive. He just retired.
Yeah, Bob's but he's well into his 90s.
He's an old now. So I guess we'll see what happens. With
Spade and neuter.
I don't know. I honestly don't have an answer for that question.
Vanna White is still turning.
Price
letters,
is Right,
by
I
the way.
guess.
Is Vanna White still working on?
Yes.
Wow. Good for her.
She was discovered on The Price is Right.
Oh.
She was a contestant. In fact, they had Vanna on the 50th anniversary show and showed the highlights of her coming down and being a contestant.
Wow.
And
talk about a crossover.
She's pretty old.
Actually, one more. Sky sent this to us. It's from Brent. Rather have to wear roller skates till you die or be able to only listen to one song till you die?
Oh, God, they both sound awful.
Roller skates. I'll figure it out.
Oh,
how you
yeah,
gonna drive?
I guess.
I'll figure it out,
Oh,
Josh.
One song.
You didn't say the wheels had to be on the roller skates.
One song. That's easy. I'm a podcast boy. I'll be
No,
just
that would be awful.
fine. Just fine.
That would be awful.
Yeah, but roller skates all the time?
one song all the time. You know how much you get sick of that?
That means you can never listen to the Dumb Debate song ever again.
That's fine. Imagine taking a shower wearing roller skates.
That means
I'll
when you go to
figure
a
it
football
out.
game and the Huskers score, the only thing you're going to hear in your head is Eleanor Rigby.
That sounds awesome.
Not after the
Rigby.
8 billionth time you hear it.
Did you know
hey,
that's
look, it's time for Better Call Saul. Eleanor Rigby.
Did you know
that's
using the
theme
same
music.
using the same song over and over was an actual tactic that the CIA used in Guantanamo Bay, Josh?
I'll be fine.
They also used Baby Shark at one point. Fun fact.
Do. Settle down, Nick Trout.
Can you imagine you're at the funeral of the most dearest departed loved one you have, and all you hear is Eleanor Rigby?
It'd be kind of fun.
Which is interesting because Eleanor Rigby was. That's Dumb Debates. After this on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. Had a conversation with their GM within the last 24 hours. And sadly for you, if you didn't get signed up, their Independence Day Scramble did indeed sell out. It's going to be a great time on Monday, but have no fear. They will have many more events like that in the weeks and months and even years moving forward. But you still need to get that golf game figured out ahead of many more months of great golf action. Give them a call today at 402-498-0220 and find out about lessons and instructions with Mike Favre. He has helped me out a ton with my short game, especially as of late. Looking forward to being there on Friday as we continue to work around the green and on the green. You're adding a lot of strokes to your game. It's not making it as enjoyable for you. Mike can help you out so much. And so your scores maybe go from 100 to 95, maybe 90 to 85, whatever it is. Give them a call, 402-498-0220. They're located just north of the Dodge on 120th Street, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharp and Betting in the Morning.
Scott Chanley joining us here on Sharp and Betting in the Morning. Joe Burrow sat down for a podcast last week. They asked him about how many times he'd been sacked last season and what kind of a toll it said. And essentially what he said is sacks are an overblown stat. As a defensive guy, when you hear a quarterback say that, your response is?
He's a liar. I don't believe him one bit.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny, breezy, and hot into this evening with the temperatures in the 90s. Mostly clear, stays really warm tonight, lows in the low 70s. Still hot, a few more clouds on Thursday, highs in the mid-90s again with maybe some storms coming in Thursday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up 13th is still closed between Howard and Jackson Street because of a water main break. The crash has the left lane blocked on southbound 480 near Harney Street, also causing delays on the southbound North Freeway between Hamilton and 480. A crash with injuries on Maple at 97th is also causing some delays. Got a crash blocking the two right lanes of northbound Northwest Radial at Hamilton with stop-and-go traffic back from Cumming and stop-and-go traffic on the southbound JFK from Q to Childs. I'm Mike Neville.
This time-saving traffic was brought to you by Nebraska Loves Public Schools.
Learn how educators at Lincoln High School use drama classes to help students build new skills and a sense of belonging in an I Love Public Schools film. Watch online at iloveps.org.
At Woodhouse, we make car buying simple. From test drive to purchase, we're here to help guide you to your next vehicle with no pressure sales, transparent pricing, and a streamlined purchase process to save you time. Finding the place to shop for your next vehicle just got easier. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, or SUV, we will get you on the road faster with a vehicle that exceeds your expectations. Find new roads and explore all our inventory arriving daily at WoodhouseGM.com and at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Gary Sharp here for Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It is the original peanut butter whiskey. Now, you can celebrate this baseball season with Screwball. It's a little sweet, it's a little salty, and a little savory. You know what? It's unlike anything I've tasted before. It's the perfect celebration of the wild and wonderful in all of us. So to all the Screwballs out there, in honor of tomorrow's stories, let's raise our glass to you. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, available near you. Enjoy responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Were you exposed to hazardous materials while serving in the military and have an illness or condition as a result?
If so, you may be eligible for VA benefits and services. Whether you need health care or want to file a disability compensation claim related to military exposures, VA is here to help. Visit va.gov/military-exposures to learn more and apply today.
You served your country. Now let VA serve you.
Summer is here, and so is the heat. Our greenhouse and nursery sales area are always open and stocked all season long. You can relax knowing when you want it, we've got it. So visit us today. Lanahan Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Watching a ball game at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is just, well, pretty awesome, actually. And it doesn't matter if you prefer the college dink or the big league crack on the bat. There's nothing better than watching a game with a cold, frosty one, Oscar's Pizza, or award-winning char-buffed wings with Oscar's Thai chili bourbon wing sauce. And with daily lunch and dinner specials, it's really a no-brainer. So get ready to watch your favorite team play ball at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and takeout at 162nd and Maple.
Unsportsmanlike conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peters.
I can only keep track of rednecks when they have a number on the side of their car.
On 1620 The Zone.
And I enjoy keeping track of rednecks when they have numbers on the side of the car.
His name is Nick Trout. He is our redneck.
No, don't. I don't want this to be a thing.
I'm liking this.
It's very funny.
I'm about to Streisand effect this, though, so it's not going to matter.
What?
You know the Streisand effect? So Barbara Streisand begged people not to call her something, and then because she begged for it, more people wanted to do it.
I
out
thought
of
this had
spite.
something to do with, if George Bush gets elected, I'm leaving the country. Well, then why didn't you leave?
What are you triggered by right now?
I wasn't triggered.
Barbara Streisand.
Anywho, Brett Yormark, get used to it. He's the new commissioner of the Big 12 Conference. You're saying,
oh, yeah, I have a take.
You're saying, who's Brett Yormark?
Who's Brett Yormark?
Is the chief operating officer for Rock Nation.
ROC Nation.
Oh, I do know who that is.
I thought it was called Rock Nation.
It is. No, yeah, Rock without
it's
a
Rock
K.
Nation, but RO.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Rock
anyway,
without a
this
K.
is Jay-Z's conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
He's also been with the Nets. He's been with NASCAR. So he comes from a rather interesting background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Klyavkov.
Thank you. You're going right into the direction I wanted to go.
Well,
with this
then
conversation.
take it.
College sports is a business. We've known that for a long time.
It's a what kind of business? An entertainment business.
An entertainment business. Thank you. It's a business. A lot of people have not wanted to recognize that fact, but it is, in fact, a fact. We are seeing now the conferences recognize that. They're recognizing we are in a new era, a different era. You know, you look at, for example, Jim Phillips. He had been in college. He'd been in the college system, if you will. He'd been at Northwestern. He's now the commissioner of the ACC. Kevin Warren. Even he's pretty interesting given, you know, his ties into the NFL. But what we've seen as of late with the Pac-12 and now with the Big 12 is these leagues recognizing things are changing. And we need to have those that are in the entertainment business and maybe are a little more forward-thinking involved. And look, it's not to say it's going to be perfect because it's definitely not going to be perfect. There are going to be hiccups along the way. But I think that this is a continuing recognition of, like, we need to understand that college sports is changing. How can we have people in charge who adapt to those changes? And I think this is another one of those hires.
I mean, when the Big 10 went and got Kevin Warren, they got a guy who had a serious sports background.
Exactly.
Front office type background. But these last two big hires, and when the ACC, they got Jim Phillips from Northwestern, hardcore sports background. But your point is well taken. Especially with leagues like the Pac-12 and the Big 12, who need every advantage they can get right now. Because they are behind the pack. Pardon the pun.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder how it's going to go, because Klyavkov's only, a couple years into the job, a year and a half into the job, I think.
I think right after the pandemic, maybe.
And then this, with Brett Yormark. How it goes will be very fascinating because it's in a period of huge transition, not just the entertainment realm, but just, how the sport is being run. And, who knows if we're going to even have college football as we know it in 5 to 10 years. It might be a consolidated thing. We may not have a Power 5 anymore. It may be just the Power 5. We don't know. But if this trend continues, what will be fascinating is when it's time for Greg Sankey to go.
What does the SEC do?
Will the SEC continue with, someone who's got a sports-minded background? Or are those types of conferences, SEC and Big Ten, so big that, we're gonna stay the course. We're gonna keep with people that have. And it's not that Yormark doesn't have a sports-minded background. Again, he's worked with NASCAR. He's worked with the Brooklyn Nets. So it's not like he's just coming in and saying, hey, I'm Mr. Entertainment Lawyer, and I'm going to change the world. But
hey, it's me, Nick Trout.
But that diversity of background is rather fascinating.
Yeah, and Jordan asked a question. He says, is Sankey leaving anytime soon? I don't think he is. And that's, look, that in a way, what I just said and described with some of these newer athletic directors as they try to adapt. Like, I think those leagues probably need those types of leaders, but the SEC having somebody like a Greg Sankey so entrenched in how college sports have been and are currently, I actually think is incredibly valuable for that league. So, like, what can be good for one league might not be as good for another league. So, he's still going to have all the power. I wonder where Jim Delaney, if he is still in charge of the Big Ten, as the sport of football and basketball, as college sports are changing, what type of position would the Big Ten be in? Like, how much better of a position would they be in today if he was still in charge versus a Kevin Warren, especially given how 2020 unfolded?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting hire. And it's moving into a very fascinating time for not only college football, but especially the Big 12. Because you're transitioning out the two biggest brands and you're inviting in 4 previously have-nots and trying to, basically what this is it's the AAC with a little bit more cachet. You still have a Kansas basketball and you still have names like, Baylor's won a national championship. But this is basically just a little bit stronger version of the AAC that we're seeing here.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Of course, they literally stole 3 of the biggest brands from the AAC. And BYU is going to be in a quote-unquote big boy conference for the first time. Coming up, we have some unsportsmanlike content. And in said unsportsmanlike content, another one of those stupid maps that we get all the time about which state.
Oh, no, not
but
these
this
ones.
One's kind of interesting because you'll see when we get to it next. But first, a word for Brookside Medical Clinic. Guys, ED meds are good. They work. They help with erectile dysfunction. But when the ads are showing you all the fun and, closing the door and behind the scenes, and it's like, oh, they're going to get it on. Or the 2 people in the bathtub holding hands. What the ads don't show you is the pill takes a little time to kick in. That's a long time to sit there in separate bathtubs holding hands. Not yet, dear. It hasn't kicked in yet. Hold on. A few more minutes. Come on. I just took the thing. You don't have to worry about that with the advanced wave technology at Brookside Medical Clinic. You can stop holding hands and actually get it on. Because the advanced wave technology can restore and regrow blood vessels. That improves the blood flow, restores the normal function. So less holding hands, more of the other stuff, the main event. We all want more main event in our life. Forget the prelims. We want the main event. Call today, 402-671-7777. You can get a free consultation and blood flow ultrasound, plus a special added gift that is sure to work in the bedroom or in separate bathtubs. but you won't be in separate bathtubs. You'll be in the same bathtub because you won't be holding hands anymore, waiting for the pill to kick in. Call Brookside today, 402-671-7777. Brookside Medical, 402-671-7777.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620, The Zone.
Did you book the Townsend's 10th anniversary tickets?
Alona's travel agency is overbooked and experiencing delays. She needs to land a new project manager to clear her business's runways.
Yes, Mrs. O'Hara, we checked. Pygmy goats do not count as emotional support animals.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Meet Caitlin and Adrian, a just married couple that loves each other almost as much as I love windows. As a dedicated Pella window and door replacement advisor, I help guide them through our quality options and decide on the right choice for their style and budget.
Get more with Pella. Let us personalize an offer just for you. Visit PellaOmaha.com/radio for more details.
Fireworks season is here. This week is a Zone Deal 4th of July Mega Week. Each day will feature deals from businesses sure to make your 4th of July great half off. Check out our deals from Bellino Fireworks and La Smash Room. And to fill your stomachs, a half off deal from Cops. All for half off. Don't miss this 4th of July Zone Mega Week at 1620thezone.com and click deals.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people. Small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Doctors Bimbo and Vince Petro provide quality and caring dentistry for the entire family in a friendly, relaxed environment at the northwest corner of 144th and Dodge. New patients are always welcome. Look no further than Doctors Bimbo and Vince Petro, dentistry for the entire family.
If you suffer from joint pain, from arthritis, or an injury, you know the traditional treatments, pain meds and steroids, and then surgery, right? Now there's a better way, and it's here now from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This is an advanced, exciting, and natural alternative that can give you lasting relief using your body's own healing power. Listen, steroid shots are toxic to your joints, pain meds are addictive, and nobody wants to go under the knife. It's 2022 and those old ways are out, and the new ways are in. Regenerative medicine can restore and repair damaged joint tissue using the natural biologics. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. QC Kinetics regenerative protocols can address any pain in any joint and give you the quality of life you deserve. Call now and schedule your free consultation. 402-205-4960. 402-205-4960. QC Kinetics. 402-205-4960.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
I made you some unsportsmanlike unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike. People
All
are
right.
Oh, sorry.
Go.
I was just gonna say people are reaching out, Nick. They like the Trout stuff.
No, they don't.
I swear to
Nobody's
God,
reaching out.
Somebody
like
somebody DM me and said I'm sitting in the conference room and listening and laughed out loud at, "Hey, I'm Nick Trout."
This is bad propaganda. No.
Let's try this.
Nope.
It's time for unsportsmanlike content. Here to ask us questions about other topics of the day is Nick Trout.
Oh, that rolls off the tongue.
It does.
Rolls off the tongue.
Nick Grimm here. As we discussed yesterday, the
With
Yankees.
Nick Grimm. Today we're discussing it with Nick Trout.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees are on pace for 118 wins. 118. That's a lot. That's a lot of wins. But will they win more than 110?
No. Because you're going to get to the point now, and then this assumes that they don't have a close second, chasing them down for the division. I haven't even looked. I have not looked at the MLB standings for a long time because, quite frankly, they're just too damn.
Because you don't like sports right now.
I do like sports. I'm just very depressed right now.
Toronto is 13 games back. Good.
Oh
Lord.
man, yeah. If the
Astros are 8 games back, by the way.
If the gap continues, well, the Astros aren't in the same.
No,
division.
for the league, for home field.
Yeah. If the gap continues to be large, no, the Yankees are not going to win 118 games. They're going to start, resting players, staggering players. No, they will not win 118.
They'll go north of 100.
Oh yeah, easily.
I don't think
they'll push one. They might puch 110.
So I think they'll go.
110 is a lot,
dude. 110 is a ton. In 1998, the Yankees won 114 games, and they won the World Series. I don't think they'll get to 110 either. I think mainly because how they've been winning a lot of these games. They've won a lot of one-run games. They've had 10 walk-offs already. It's July in 2 days, so they've done a really good job there. I just don't think that they'll be able to consistently keep this up. So, no, they'll get over 100, probably like 107, 108, somewhere in that range.
Speaking of baseball, Rob Manfred says he doesn't hate it. In fact, he's trying to save it. Do you believe him?
No. Okay. Do I think he actually hates baseball? No. Do I think he does a good job in showing that he doesn't hate baseball? Also no.
I would agree. The feature that they did on him on ESPN, he's basically trying to sell everyone that, I do. I love this sport. I really, really do. But he's just so awkward at it. The thing that, and it's difficult. I get it. It's difficult for people like Goodell. It's difficult for people like Adam Silver. It's difficult for people like Gary Bettman because they're suits. And they're trying to portray themselves as every fan. I'll give Goodell credit. The pandemic did some wonders for him, with sitting in the chair and, during the draft and kind of kicking back a little bit.
Roger Goodell here for COVID-19.
Now he still looks, a little bit phony, when he does all the bro hugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at least he's trying. Manfred, unfortunately, when he kicks into his commissioner mode, he just seems so stiff and unapproachable.
Yes, he does.
Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, none of that matters. Is he an effective leader? Well, the owners must like him. But remember, when you might be the commissioner hired by the owners, but you represent the game, and the game does not exist without the fans. And commissioners that get that more than others. I'm not a huge fan of Adam Silver, but he seems like he kind of gets that part of it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if Rob Manfred does.
As discussed with Adam McClintock earlier, his point spread of 4.5 for Nebraska Northwestern is much shorter than the FanDuel line.
Promo code 1620.
Of 11.5. Which line will score the finish closer?
I think the actual spread is going to be closer to the game result than Adams.
Is it a cop out to say it's going to be like right in the middle? So right in the middle of those numbers would be 8. I guess I don't think it'll be an 8-point game. Say FanDuel, but man, just barely, because I'd probably pick Nebraska to win by 9 right now. So I'd say closer to FanDuel, but just barely. Just barely.
Brooks Koepka says he didn't talk to the LIV tour until after the U.S. Open. Do you believe him?
Absolutely not. Well, maybe he didn't, he literally Brooks, but his people certainly did.
Well, yeah, you don't make a deal like that without having talked to them at some kind of length, whether it's him directly or not. You know what we're finding out about old Brooksy? He and Bryson are basically two sides of the same coin.
They're the same dude.
They are the same person. They just
maybe that's why they hate each other.
Probably.
Probably.
But Brooksy, he was the fan favorite, and
yeah, I like Brooks.
Bryson, they're both the same coin. Just a couple of greedy golfers going out there and golfing for a whole lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Go golf.
Go golf.
Go golf. FIFA says they have sold 1.8 million tickets so far for the World Cup in Qatar. Qatar? Is it Qatar or Qatar?
I think it can be both. I think it can be both.
I would say Qatar.
Do whatever you want to do, Nick.
There will
Cutter,
be
like a cutter, like a fastball cutter.
Nice.
There will be 3 million available in total when the next round of tickets go on sale. Aren't you impressed?
I mean, is this kind of normal, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of games.
Yeah, of course.
What I'm worried about is the fire code for all of these stadiums built by people that eventually died because, that's what happened in Qatar is, they
slave labor essentially.
It was as close to modern day slave labor as you can get.
Yeah.
So I just hope the stadiums stay up.
Yeah, that that the country is really small. You can drive from the northern end to the southern end in 2 hours. It'll be a lot of people. I'm not gonna go.
It's gonna be damn hot.
You're not gonna go to Qatar?
It'll be a little cool. No, I'm not, Nick. So I won't have to take any vacation. It'll be a little cooler. It'll be in the fall.
Yeah, it'll still be by 100 degrees.
I can't wait for Black Friday,
still
John.
in a desert.
USA, England. What a day.
And I won't care.
No, that's not true. You'll care because your Twitter feed will be filled with it. And you'll be like, get off my Twitter feed.
I'll only jump on there after England wins. Go England.
Wow, you jerk.
You rooted
John
against
here
Serena.
for the Revolutionary War. but
Wow.
on the red
No,
side.
I'm just
The
here.
other way.
I'm just here to root for. I'm here.
Anti-France,
I'm
pro-Britain.
here
Sure
to-
sounds like it to me.
Big redcoats guy.
Well, maybe
John
they-
Quarter Troops
may-
Bishop.
Maybe they should have won.
John
then.
Bishop here for Queen Elizabeth.
The second?
All of them.
Hey, if
Oh.
it makes her happy, she's pretty close to the end. She could
Allegedly.
She could pretty much. She could use
For
an
those who
England
celebrate.
World Cup win.
Yes.
Do it for the Queen. Do it for Queenie.
A clickbait question was asked on ESPN.com today. Will Patrick Mahomes be better off without Tyreek Hill? What do you think?
Nick, nice for you to bring your 1019 keg the voice.
Yeah,
To
very
what-
nice.
My what voice, Josh?
1019
Your
the keg.
1019 the keg voice.
That's not what you just said.
Yeah, I might have mixed up some words there. No. He'll be fine. He won't be better because of Tyreek Hill leaving.
Right.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
But I mean, that was a good group they had, and now one of the key contributors is gone. It will affect them.
Yeah, of course it will.
Now, could he be better off in the long run? Yeah, we have no idea. It's like Brady without, oh gosh, who was
Gronk, Randy
well,
Moss,
not
Wes
Gronk,
Welker.
Wes Welker. They managed to find another Wes Welker.
Yeah.
The
implication, though, being here that they'll be better because
implication.
Tyreek Hill is gone. No, that's a fallacy. But can
Yeah.
he be better off without him? Of course he can.
He could.
Yeah.
I think the bigger question is how will he be without Andy Reid?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Jerry Pollock, the organist at the College World Series, is retiring. Are you afraid the organ music in Omaha might go away too?
Is this a discussion?
I hope not. I mean, they brought that old organ over from Rosenblatt. They still use it. I love it. See,
They showed him on the video. He looks so happy.
he does, but he's 81 years old. I hope not.
Why are you willing this into existence?
I'm not. I'm not willing
Jeez.
anything into existence. I don't want it to go away.
I love stadiums that have organ music. That's what makes Lakers games fun and Celtics games fun because they still play and Knicks games. They're like the only 3 NBA franchises that still use the organ a lot. And it's way better than the defense.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, so please. Yeah, don't let John wish this into existence.
I didn't wish anything
Don't
into
manifest
Nick
this,
Trout
John.
asked the question, not me.
Unreal.
Well, here's another thing. This is your favorite blank in every state. Maps. I didn't read that. Here's another one of those. This is your favorite blank in every state maps. Today, it's your state's favorite streaming service. Nebraska is allegedly Netflix. Iowa's is Hulu. Anything stand out?
I don't know.
Well, we got it up on the
video
on the video stream. Yeah, we're a Netflix state. Colorado's HBO Max. What I think is interesting.
South Dakota's is hilarious. HBO Go? What year is it in South Dakota?
Exactly. That's the old HBO streaming service.
Alabama's is hilarious. That's Crunchyroll. Do you know what Crunchyroll is?
No.
It's anime streaming.
Can you read?
That's hilarious.
I'm trying to read the one that Mississippi is right next to it. This
is the Christian channel.
Criterion
The
Channel.
Criterion Channel. I've never heard of that.
Criterion Channel is like old classic movies.
Look at West Virginia, AOL Plus.
Mountain Mama.
I've never even heard of AOL
What
Plus.
the hell is AOL Plus?
I don't know.
This is-
And then
Oh,
Arizona.
look at Alaska. Look at Alaska.
Look at Mike Farron's favorite streaming network, the Pirate something or
The Pirate Bay. That's
not a
torrents.
streaming network.
Yeah, we got duped, John.
This is a joke.
Well, yeah, Alaska's is Quibi. Quibi isn't even a thing anymore. It lasted.
I
like a
refuse
month.
to believe Alabama streams Crunchyroll more than anything.
Plus, HBO Go is literally not a streaming service.
It doesn't exist.
So yeah, most of this stuff it could be real, but then you have some goofy fake ones. Mississippi definitely does not like the Criterion Channel.
I don't even
Who uses Fubo? Ohio? No.
We're going to Fubo.
What is
It's like YouTube TV. It's just a.
Oh.
But we can do the quad box, so sports are going to rule this fall.
I didn't know Fubo was still around.
Mhm.
Like I thought it was just one of those.
No, yeah, it's because it's not like an HBO Max. It's like for TV channels. Yeah.
All right, coming up.
Boom.
Bet of the day on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Maybe you are watching a streaming service tonight and you're doing a little squinting, you're cleaning off the glasses, whatever it is. It is not as enjoyable as it used to. Things perhaps are a little bit blurrier for you, whether it's that, reading the paper, going to the various sporting events that I know that you're attending, being out there on the golf course, need to be able to see as good as possible. Think about what I said at the start, though. Reading the paper. How many of you have needed the addition of readers into your life over the last few years? If that is you, or if your vision is just not that great and you've been wearing glasses, perhaps like I did for almost 2 decades, give them a call today at 402-558-2211. Schedule a consultation. Get rid of those glasses, get rid of those contacts, get rid of those readers, and enjoy your life so much more than you ever have before. I'm a reader, read almost every single night, know how annoying it can be if you're unable to focus on those words. Focus on the football on the field, whatever it is. KuglerVision.com. Find out more information about the 7 different procedures that they have, or give them a call at 402-558-2211.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
When you need a new roof, especially if you have storm damage, the last thing you want to hear from a roofing company is that it's going to be weeks or even months before they can get to it because of supply issues. This is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock. As one of the largest roofing companies in America, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. That means our warehouse has everything we need to do your job now. And because we stocked up before the supply crunch, we paid a lot less than anyone looking for roofing supplies now and can share those savings with you. No one in Omaha can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Let our local family serve your family. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, 402-281-1780. That's 402-281-1780. Or online at shamrockroofer.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
If you're passionate about coffee, you should consider a career at Host Coffee as a valued service technician to install, repair, and rebuild state-of-the-art commercial coffee, iced tea, espresso, juice, cappuccino machines, and water coolers. Apply today and join our team at hostcoffee.net/careers.
Damon Benning here for Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, the original peanut butter whiskey. Celebrate this baseball season with Screwball. A little sweet, a little salty, a little savory. It's unlike anything you've tasted before. It's the perfect celebration of the wild and wonderful in all of us. So to all you Screwballs out there, in honor of tomorrow's stories, let's raise a glass to you. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, available near you. Enjoy responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Old creepy guy.
The 1620 The Zone.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you?
Now, it's time for the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Bet of the Day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by nobody.
You gotta be kidding me.
Really, we don't have a sponsor. Sorry.
All right, so yesterday I said it. Nick was going to screw me because he picked the Mets. Folks, I got screwed.
That's what you get for picking the Mets.
Yeah, the Yankees won, but not the Mets. So, yeah. John won. He had the Giants and the Cards, and then Nick, because he picked the Mets like me, we were both losers. I'm going to go with the Angels tonight, minus a 1.5. It pays plus 112. They are.
White Sox took him to the woodshed last night.
They're going to rebound.
They took old
Mike Grimm.
Mike Grimm. To
Mike
the woodshed
Grimm,
last
Shohei
night.
Ohtani. They're going to rebound strong.
Well,
bad.
Miss Serena might be gone, but America's sport, Wimbledon, continues. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., it's Emil Rusev
I hate you.
against Botic Van de Zandschlup.
Don't hurt yourself.
Give me Botic Van de Zandschlup at minus 137. There's his name.
I saw you. I found it.
Botic
What's the
Van
odds?
de Zandschlup.
Minus
137.
Minus-
Let's go, BVDZ.
Let's go.
BVDZ.
Nick?
I'm going to start using Happer rules for betting at the end of the day.
What's
Just
that?
Well, I don't pick the same thing that you picked.
Oh, nice.
Give me the Cubs, though. Minus 136.
Oh, why'd you do that, Nick?
What a moron.
That's the bet of the day.
Iowa.
He's
Come
Nick
on,
Trout.
Botic. That is an awesome name.
It is very good. You love the
Now
names.
I've got a new person to cheer for. Just when Wimbledon thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Are you waking up at 4:45 for that? Get a little cup of coffee?
No.
He's got to get a cuppa.
No, but I
Cuppa Joe?
hope they replay it on one of these channels. We can watch it during the show tomorrow.
I do not hope that. I'll turn the channel if they do.
To a Formula One race?
No, Nick, no. No.
I have F1 TV. I could just put on any race
it
you
would
want.
probably be like practice. There's actually passing in practice.
Is that true, Nick?
It doesn't really count.
There is some passing in practice.
Okay. Mostly because they pull into the pits and then they just kind of zip on by. That's pretty close.
That wasn't bad.
That's
Let's
pretty
go.
close. Tomorrow, Ravi, Robin, Thursday, you, me, everybody. Everybody.
It's almost a weekend tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're getting close.